correct screen. Marcel?
Yes, we see the screen.
It's working. Okay, cool, fantastic. So let me start with the keynote, the future of SharePoint AI, and let's discuss about how the SharePoint ecosystem will shape the future of collaboration, will shape the future of knowledge sharing, and be serving as a platform of knowledge. Before we get into the hot topic, I'd like to present myself. My name is Gokan Ozcifci, and I am the owner and principal consultant at Neoxy, which is like a consultancy company based in Belgium. My LinkedIn is Gokan Ozcifci, and that's where I try to weekly post articles on my blog post about SharePoint, SharePoint AI, and so on and so forth. So I try to keep it very active. So if you add me, I'll be very happy to be connected with you and share the knowledge we have around SharePoint on LinkedIn. I'm not using anymore X or Facebook or any other social media. It's only LinkedIn for professional sharing and insights about SharePoint. Just because you guys are part of this keynote in the morning, I'd like to thank you for coming on at 9 a.m. and connecting and registering to that event, and hence a little gift for all of you. I'm giving out a free ebook that you guys can all download for free about SharePoint Content AI, content solutions, and advanced administration, written by 9 MVPs. So it's like almost a 200-page book that you guys will receive for free, that you can download, use, read, understand, and even share with your colleagues to better understand how SharePoint and the ecosystem is working for the foundation of knowledge, content, and AI. Okay, that being said, what is SharePoint AI? I have only, I think, 8 or 9 slides, and then we'll just deep dive into the demos, because I think I can show you a bunch of slides, but the part where you will learn the most is when you will see things in action. But I think it's fundamental to see from where we come and where we go in order to understand how the product is working today. And what you will first see, that it has evolved a lot. The evolution AI within SharePoint has evolved tremendously. We started the journey in November 2019 with Project Cortex, where Microsoft announced machine learning with SharePoint and said, hey, you know what? You can do some document processing with Project Cortex. And then when the tool got announced, it was like, oh, it's a SharePoint thing, so let's brand it as SharePoint Syntax. But then the tool went bigger and bigger and bigger and could do way more than only the document processing era. And then we announced the Microsoft Syntax in October 2022. AI came into the journey. They said, you know what, Microsoft Syntax, good, but let's go for SharePoint Premium, because SharePoint, is getting the center of M365. All the data are stored in. It's getting all the attention. It's getting the knowledge platform of the M365 ecosystem. We went to SharePoint Premium, but then the Copilot era launched, and like Microsoft went all in with Copilot. And then there was a rebrand of the SharePoint Premium offering, and then it became all document processing. But very soon after that, we came with the knowledge agent, because we are now in the agentic era, and almost all of the features went to the knowledge agent, and we will see that in a couple of seconds. But that's all the evolution from Project Cortex to Syntax to Premium, and now to the knowledge agent. That's the evolution of the AI spectrum within M365. But that brings a lot of confusion. When you look to the left side, to the product group view, well, they have AI, they have LLMs, agents, orchestration, pay-as-you-go, all the money that comes with the AI. But when we look to the customer view, we are all confused, because we talk about pay-as-you-go, we talk about Syntax, we talk about SharePoint Premium, we talk about pay-as-you-go, SharePoint Advanced Management, about AI, about models, about like new LLMs that we can get in, like cloud AIs with some with Opus and so on, all within SharePoint now. People are getting confused. Microsoft is phenomenally well in renaming, but this brings a masterclass in confusion. And in today's session, hopefully, I will make sure that you get the correct understanding on what you can do with SharePoint AI with the correct wordings. And don't get me wrong, Microsoft is in a good way in unifying all the wordings, in unifying on how the tool is working, but still, we have a lot of ways to go. This is actually the AI part of SharePoint before the Copilot era, right? We had like the SharePoint core solutions, we had SharePoint AI, and then we had the advanced administration. On the left side, under the solutions, when you activate pay-as-you-go, and I'm going to show you in a couple of seconds how you can do that, well, you could use annotations, you could use the e-signature, the agreements app, you could do content processing, content assembly, extract OCR from images, image tagging, taxonomy tagging, autofill, and so on and so forward. So those two big pillars with basically pay-as-you-go. And then on the right side, the advanced administration, you had SharePoint Advanced Management, Microsoft Data Connect Graph, or the Microsoft 365 Backup, Archive, all of those features. But then with the Copilot era, Microsoft said, you know what? People are afraid, organizations are afraid that with Copilot, we could access any data, anytime, any moment. So they said, you know what? You need to have that hygiene within the organization. You need to make sure that not everything is accessible by everyone and anyone on any time. So that's the reason why they said, you know what? SAM, SharePoint Advanced Management, is playing a crucial role. And they made it available in the organization by having only one Copilot license. That means that you don't have to pay for it like we had before. Now, with only one Copilot license in the whole organization, well, you get all of those SharePoint Advanced Management capabilities for free in the organization. But that one was within the pay-as-you-go era before the Copilot era. Now, with the Copilot era, well, that AI ecosystem is actually a little bit split up. Now we have the knowledge agent, and within Autofill capability within the knowledge agent, which is now part of the Copilot ecosystem, well, you get OCR, image tagging, taxonomy tagging, content processing, translation, summarization, improving the site, and skills and agents all under one umbrella, the Copilot license. Then you also have the SharePoint AI that still exists, which is under the pay-as-you-go umbrella, not the Copilot, but the pay-as-you-go umbrella. You still get all of those autofill capabilities with OCR, image tagging, and so on and so forward, but you also get the content assembly, annotations, the e-signature, and the agreements. Then you have the advanced administration, what we have seen. That didn't really change a lot, but then you get the extra layer, which is like multi-AI and orchestration. Multi-AI, Microsoft announced on January 7th the anthropometric models coming to M365. And I have also played around with my customers on how we could use those cloud AI models, OpenSUNET, and get the data, like get the data from SharePoint, use those AI models, and compare it with how Copilot is bringing that data. Agent overview in the admin center, SharePoint agents, all of that is also part of SharePoint AI, and which comes under the multi-AI and orchestration layer. That being said, if you are still not with the Copilot era and you still remain on the pay-as-you-go era, this is the price that you will have to pay for the AI within SharePoint. An example, e-signature is $2 per request. Or if you go in the middle, if you want to process documents, which is like the part that I really love, like you'll have to pay 0.01 per page for a pre-built processing model, which the model is owned by Microsoft, and you just use that against you to your files to extract data. It's cheap. If you go for translation, it's $15 for 1 million characters. OCR is per transaction 0.0001, and so on and so forth. So all of those premium features, because premium is equal to AI, AI is equal to premium in my world, you'll have to pay a certain price in order to consume can use those within your era. Why is SharePoint so fundamental today? And this is like how I explain this to my customers about the business value. SharePoint is in the core. SharePoint is in the middle of your knowledge, is in the center of your business processes, is in the middle of everything. And whenever you use AI on top of it and extract some data and manipulate that data, well, you can go to the left side, to the business processes. You can use that extracted data within Power Apps, build your SharePoint framework solutions, inject that data into Power Virtual Tables with Power Pages, or even bring that to your Dataverse through data flows, and then build your own application with the Power Platform. Well, you can go to the down, and with the compliance capabilities, well, I can apply some DLP or label those extracted values, or manage that with the next-gen administration features with Agent 365 or SharePoint Advanced Management. If I go to the top, I can, like increase the findability, the Microsoft search, the PMP search, the semantic indexing from 365 Copilot, or I can even orchestrate that knowledge. I can build agents based on that extracted data. I can, like compare the results with multi-AI model layer and so on and so forward. So SharePoint in the middle with AI on top is fundamental for every kind today and every organization, because your data resides in SharePoint, and the better and accurate your data becomes with AI in SharePoint, the better ecosystem you will receive and do within SharePoint. So that's the real business value. But again, not easy. It has a certain cost. And here is like a phenomenal slide from Drew Muddle, which is also a speaker in this conference, where it shows you the complexity and the scenario and the features you have within SharePoint AI. The most complex and the most difficult thing to do would be document processing with SharePoint, right? The most easy thing would be like annotations or PDF extracts, content query, stuff like that, which is like built within the AI spectrum of SharePoint. And then the last 2 or 3 slides, I have to tell you, you have to know that SharePoint AI has 2 phases. You have the legacy technologies, and then Microsoft investing in LLMs. So many things will now be absorbed by Autofill. Remember a few slides ago, like OCR, translation, managed metadata tagging, image tagging, all of those SharePoint AI features are now being absorbed by Autofill, because it's LLM, it's easy. You just talk to your agent, you just talk to Autofill, and it will just extract that data and put it in a column, and you will see the result. So the question is, do I still need that legacy technology? Yes, you do, because still old document processing models rely on the Azure AI document intelligence, but that's also deprecated by the Azure team. So slowly, everything is moving to the LLM era, which is like the future. Microsoft announced and said, they have 4 pillars: OCR, translation, e-signature, and autofill being the next things within SharePoint AI. But OCR, translation are submerged within autofill, and I haven't seen much coming through e-signature, but that's also one of the key investment areas of SharePoint AI. If you ask me, I would have told you, hey, don't go pay as you go, invest into 1 Copilot license. You get the SharePoint Advanced Management capabilities for the whole organization, and use the Copilot license in order to also use the knowledge agent, in order to get the benefit of Autofill, which does a lot already for the organization. But here's the thing, and that's a question I'm asking to all of you: is Autofill today enough? Because when you look to the document processing agent in Copilot Studio, or when you look to AI Builder and the AI prompts, my goodness, they do way more than Autofill. Autofill is just, I write my prompt, it's going to query it against my document in SharePoint and write back that result into SharePoint. So I'm not talking to Teams, I'm not talking to OneDrive, not Planner, not Power Platform. It's SharePoint only. And then the question is, if I'm an organization, I have Autofill in SharePoint that only talks to SharePoint. I have AI Builder with AI models and AI prompts in Power Platform. And then I have the agentic world. I have the document processing agent in Copilot Studio, which can talk to almost everything and has like orchestration in it. Which one should I use? I'm telling you, 90% will say not SharePoint. And SharePoint Autofill needs to evolve. I need to have that trigger mentality where the document can reside somewhere else than only in a document library. It could reside in another team, in another team chat. It could reside maybe in a OneDrive folder. It could be maybe a task into a planner, or it could be even a file in a OneDrive, or maybe an item in a list. The trigger could be Power Automate, could be Copilot Studio, could be somewhere in Power Apps. Then Autofill, as an intelligent document processing, could mash up that data on an intelligent, automated, repeatable, and actionable way, and then write it back either to SharePoint or to Dataverse for Power Platform. That is the V2 I've been asking at Microsoft for a long time. Autofill on its own is not enough. We need to make it actionable with triggers and bring that output in an automated way to other platforms such as Dataverse. Or if you guys have other ideas, I would love to hear that as well. And then I think this is like the last slide, and then we'll move to the demos, is the evolution of the knowledge orchestrating. I've been talking about that for the last 15 minutes. We came from syntax to premium, now to SharePoint AI. We are slowly moving to the orchestration era, document processing agent, the knowledge agent, right? But Microsoft announced this year about the multi-AI providers for M365. I've been playing around the Claude models with SharePoint, and it's not going to be a huge surprise that this would become the new norm, where people would be able to use other LLMs in order to mash up the data, bring that data, and bring that knowledge in an intelligent way to your end users, to your power users, to your organization. And that's the evolution. And I expect for 2027 more of those capabilities within M365. So that's being said, with all of the slides, now let's move to the actual work with SharePoint AI. If you want to use SharePoint AI, well, two ways. Remember, I told you either you need to have the Copilot license, or within the admin, actually the admin center, you can ask your global admin, you can ask your SharePoint admin to go to the setup, and here somewhere to the last part, well, you have activated pay-as-you-go services. When you click on it, well, you will see that there will be a button which says Get Started to activate your pay-as-you-go services. In my demo environment, you'll see that it is activated. Well, in your case, if you haven't been using this for a while, this is not activated. And if you see here, it says, you know what, with pay-as-you-go, you can use autofill columns, content assembly, document processing, translation, e-signature, image tagging, archive, backup, OCR, SharePoint embed for developers, taxonomy tagging, video translation, and so on and so forward. So all that knowledge, all that intelligent knowledge comes by activating pay-as-you-go. Pay-as-you-go meaning a credit card, meaning a resource group, meaning you have to pay for it. And then if you go to the settings, well, you also get that little governance around SharePoint AI within that pay-as-you-go pay in the admin center. Well, I can here, as an example, image tagging, if I click on it, well, I can say in which libraries I like to use this. Well, it can either be in all sites, it can be up to 100 sites, or I can even disable that option if I don't want to use image tagging into my organization. If I want to apply some models here to governance around e-signature, well, I have the same options here. I get a few questions, I can answer that, and I can just apply that governance on my feature in SharePoint AI. Like, you know what, Adobe, and I don't want to use DocuSign, well, I can enable or disable that provider for me, and I can just say, you know what, for my organization, I only allow Microsoft 365 e-signature, yes or no. And you can apply that specific little options for your tools. Pay-as-you-go, Copilot license. And whenever you do that, well, within SharePoint, well, you will see slightly things being changing. What's going to change? Well, here, well, you will see this agent appearing if you have like the Copilot license, or if you have activated pay-as-you-go, well, you will see the classify and extract here coming on the top. What does that do? Well, the classify and extract is the old way of document processing where you can create a new model, which is like, I'm not going to say deprecated or old technology. A lot of people are still loving it, and I'm still loving it. But compared to Autofill, my goodness, those are so complex. Autofill is just you write a prompt and you get the result directly back in SharePoint. With those models, it's so complicated. Let's build one and see how it's going to work. Let's go with the classify a single file type and extract custom information, the single class. I click on next. It gives you all the information. I have a book around this. I have like multiple sessions around. I'm not going to go in details because we have a lot of the covers in 40 minutes. I'm going to just create like the first model and then click on create. Very quickly, SharePoint will create a model in the backend for me, and then I can apply that model against the files I have in my document library. Now, I can add some files. Let's see. I have some samples here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add a few samples here, click on add, and the files will be added here. And then I have to train the classifier. And then I have to say, okay, is this a good document? Yes. Is this a good document? Yes. You know how repetitive and complex that scenario becomes in order to create your first model. And then look, it says, oh, you need to have at least one negative. Oh my God, I forgot that. So you have to go back within the files. You have to add one negative document. Click on add, and then you'll see a new document will be added to your model. And then you have to go and train that model and over again here. And then you have to tell that model, okay, this one is now the bad file. It's not like the negative document. So this is no. And now you can see I have 5 or 4 positives and 1 negative. And then only I can go and train the model, which you see, it requires some knowledge. It requires some capability to do that. I'm a huge fan of that because that gives you the authority to scope the information, right? I can here add an explanation and say, you know what? I want an explanation about classifying that type. And this is an Uber invoice. So I can do anything and write something here and say, you know what? This is the name. And the explanation type is a phrase list and look for the word Uber, right? And if I click on save and train, now the model is going to check for all the documents I've uploaded and search for the word Uber. And if here you will see it findeth all the words Uber and there is a match. And on this one, there is no match. So it's a match too. So I get an accuracy score of 100%. But that's, wow, old model, we don't do that anymore. Rather, we just go add a new column, click on text, or any other column type you like, which is supported by Autofill, and then you enable this prompt here. And here, let's say, and I have a few prompts, I can share that with you. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to say Autofill, and then paste that prompt just here. And what does that prompt say? This is a statement of work for how much are the services performed for. Replace the $ with the euro sign and show only 1 decimal after comma. So look, this part of the LLM is extra instructions. So the first one is extracting the data, like how much are the services performed for, let's say 10 euros. And then I'm adding more instructions. I'm telling it like, hey, add the $, replace the $ with euro sign, and only show 1 decimal. And then you can just test this against the files you have in your document library. And I'll just click on text. And now what you will see is that the LLM will be played against the files. And now I have my result coming back. One thing that you will see is that some instructions sometimes work, sometimes do not work. Did you see, like I didn't have the euro sign on the second document, now I have it. And that's where I think the power of the old models resides, is I can scope the information and there is never ever an issue because you scope that information, you give the explanations, you give the refiners, you give everything needed, and there is almost no chance for error. Here you can see sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. If I just remove the extra instructions and say play or test, now you will see that the information will be more accurate. It's by providing the instructions that I'm just actually not breaking, but bringing a bit of hallucination into the schema. If you click on save, well, now you created a column which is called autofill, but it's empty by default. So this will only work for new files. In order to also bring that capability to old files, well, just select them, and then you will see autofill columns appearing here. And then you just click on autofill, and then the backfill will start, and then the LLM will be run against all the files you have. And within a couple of seconds, hopefully not minutes, well, you will see that the autofill is here in progress, and then I have the activity pane, and I can see whenever they are done. So it looks like it's all finished, and then you can see it extracted the values here, but sometimes it brings me a few text and then the value. A lot of things to do, a lot of things to work to refine the LLM, the instructions. It is not because you have that AI within SharePoint and that you just quickly write something that the value will be perfect as a result. Now I have 5 files, I see them, I see something is not good, so I can play around and make that prompt better. And it's not a joke. A friend of mine, Mike Madrani, had a session around how effective your prompts should be. And this is like a perfect example. You know, I'm not happy with that result. I should refine and make that prompt way better in order to get that result. That autofill capability is actually from the pay-as-you-go experience. If you click on the knowledge agent, well, you can bring the Copilot autofill, which is basically the same. It just uses different licensing model. Well, I can organize this library and ask to the agent to bring me some new columns by clicking on create new columns. And then it writes for you based on the documents I have, create 3 columns to help me organize them. Provide the name for each column of no more than 2 words using the sentence casing. I'm happy with that. You can use that. If you like, you can change and add more instructions. If you click on send, well, what's autofill now going to do, or the knowledge agent, it will go against the 5 files you have, try to find common patterns, and then propose you 3 new columns. And let's see, here it said, okay, Gokan, I can see a common pattern, which is the client name, the project manager, and the fee amount. And look how more accurate the fee amount is compared to mine. And here, well, you can see 41, 41, 44. Here I don't even see a 44, 144, 144, 334, 334, 214, 214. So the result is the same, but the output is not the same. And just by effective prompting, you've seen that the result, the outcome is way better. And sometimes, like in order to get that better result, the knowledge agent can do better jobs because it has a better prompting. I can see it from here. Extract the total value and fee amount for the service as stated in the statement of work. If not specified, state not found, and so on and so forward. And if you're very happy with that, well, you can test as much as possible. You will not get charged. You will only get charged when you click on save the change and run that prompt against the files you have in your document library. So easy. If I click on cancel, leave anyway, well, I can, again, within the knowledge agent here, say, organize this library, and I can create a rule. Run actions when files are labeled. I can, here, when a file is added, send me an email. Right, you can do that. You can extract key information. You can summarize those documents, and I'm using this. The only bad thing with Autofill here is that it can go up to 65 pages in a Word document, right? 65, which is still okay, but Sometimes, and I do work for a scientific organization, they have hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of documents. And Autofill, sometimes, when you say, summarize me this 200-page document, is not that good. And when you go to the Copilot agent, and let me show that here to you, I have a Copilot agent called the SharePoint Document Summarizer, which uses the Claude Opus or the Sonnet AI models, and it's not using the GPT-5, which is like the AI engine or the LLM engine behind Copilot. I can use the anthropic models. And I've been using the Claude 4.5 Opus model, and let me show that how powerful that can become. And here I have, look, Autofill extracting information by summarizing that document. And I have a document which is like 165 pages, and this is the result I'm getting from Copilot. I open this file, and you can see this is a public file, nothing to worry about. And it is a long, very long document of hundreds of pages. And if you ask to summarize this, well, Copilot can do it, Autofill can do it. But let's see how difficult that is from the Claude model with SharePoint AI. So I have my SharePoint document summarizer, which uses the Opus 4.5, and I'm gonna say, summarize me this document. And that's a very simple prompt. No instructions, just summarize me this. And that's what we do. We compare those models and see which one is actually better for the customers. In some scenarios, Autofill would be the perfect scenario. Very easy to do, very brute, very raw, and you get straight to the point. But in some scenarios where you have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages, you can see that the result is way better with a title, with a subtitle. You get references here, you get this, and then I can even go and say, make this longer. And then again, that result will be way better. And the good thing with Copilot Studio is I can write back that result into SharePoint. I can write back that into Dataverse. I can just inject this into any other Power Apps, let's say a model-driven app or Canvas app, and mash up that data and do anything I want with it. And that's what I said in my keynote in the morning. What we miss with that capability of being only SharePoint-centric is not that optimal. We need to have a way where we can go almost everywhere. So this is going to take a bit longer, but that's how basically that works. Oh, there we go. It just finished. And look how beautiful that summarization became with Copilot Studio compared to Autofill just here. One thing I want to show is if you enable Autofill, I'm going to just close this. If you enable Autofill and you said, you know what, I'm going to create a text here and click on, under the more options, make sure, I'm going to just write something. I can see it here. Just let me just retry. Why don't I see it? Normally, if you click on text next, and that's probably summarize on. Normally, I should have an option that says, you know what, make that column very long. Let me just here show that here. If I click on edit, yeah, this one, allow unlimited length in document libraries. I'm not sure why I couldn't see that in the new one. But, you know, basically, you're always limited in the 255 characters with a column in SharePoint. With Autofill, always, if you have to have that amount of results within your SharePoint, always make sure to have allow unlimited length in this document library, just, you know, in order to have all the data you need. But is that all? No. Well, with SharePoint AI, you can do a bunch of stuff. And let me, because we only have like 10 minutes remaining, let me just show you a bunch of other stuff. OCR is one of the things that you could do. Again, with Autofill, you can definitely ask Autofill, you know, by prompting, hey, extract me all the text you find on the images, or you can let pay-as-you-go SharePoint AI handle that. And I have here an example. I went for a Starbucks with my good friend Vlad, and we had like 2 caramel macchiatos, and I paid for it because he never pays, right? Sorry, Vlad, I had to do that joke. And then I just used OCR with SharePoint AI, and look, it extracted all the text just for me as a column value within SharePoint. What does that mean? Better search, right? I can search for caramel macchiato, and boom, I have that invoice coming up into my search result. I can use that data, mash up that data, I can consume that data. All of that is very well done. Here, I have e-signature. Oh, let me just refresh. I should have some documents here. You can see I can definitely click on those. And then above on the ribbon, you will see that depending on the pay-as-you-go you will have some options. You can see I can here request signature. And if you click on it here, well, I have the providers. Remember the one that I showed that you could enable, disable? But if you disable Adobe or DocuSign, you will not see them. If I click here on e-signature, and then I'll get the pane in order to, ask people to sign for that document. I'm click on Gokan, click on next, and I have like the 3 parts where I can just say, okay, here you have to bring the date, here you have to sign, and here you have to bring your initials on that invoice in order to get it approved. The one thing that I miss here is that it's only signature, initials, and date. What I would love is to have that same data types as we have in Dataverse, where you could almost add anything and everything in order to let that sign. I'm not going to click on send, because if I click, I will be charged $2 just because for a test. But basically, you just give it the title, you bring it an optional message, and then you just send it, and then that person can sign that document. Next, well, you have the translation services, very easy as well. Here, let's say I have my Uber invoice. I need this to be translated into French. You can open that PDF. Well, again, in the ribbon, well, here, well, you can add some annotations. Let me add here an annotation. I can write a big signature on that document, and that's an extra layer on that PDF file. You can also search and use that signature also in your AI models with AI Builder, very powerful tool within the Power Platform, and use that. I can merge the PDF into different PDFs. I can bring multiple PDFs into one PDF. I can separate them. I can encrypt with password, and a bunch of things that you can also see here. Translate. I can translate that document into any major language that Copilot supports. I can go here up to 10 languages. Let's say I want to translate this to Japanese. I click on translate, and I can select up to 10 languages to do, and that file will be sent to Azure Translation Services in the backend within a container, and it's going to be translated. And in a couple of seconds, I will actually see that document appearing into my document library, which is called Uber 001 _ Japanese or French or Polish or Turkish, and a language you'll be choosing from. So I'm going to just hit 2 more times on refresh and then move on to the next one. Let's see, 1 more time, and then we will just check it like after 5 minutes. It shouldn't take that long. Okay, we'll move and we'll check in a couple of minutes later. You have the image tagging, right? Also a capability of Autofill, but also a capability of the SharePoint AI. And here is like the perfect difference between. So I have a SharePoint logo or a Microsoft logo. I'm going to quickly show that to you, which has a bunch of former logos of Microsoft. I've been asking SharePoint AI with the pay-as-you-go, and I've been asking Autofill to extract the text and the image tags. And every time when I'm using Autofill, I'm adding a little diamond icon because it's a premium feature, and I'm asking you to do that as well, so your end users know that it is like LLM-based. You can do that, and then you can see the difference between what Autofill with pay-as-you-go and Autofill with LLM-based approach is extracting. Not that much difference. I can only see that here it has a bit more than Autofill with LLM than without LLM. Just to show you, like you can play around. The two ways are very good for extracting image tags, as well as the taxonomy tagging. And that's the last thing I'm going to show you today with SharePoint AI. Well, you can definitely here, I have a customer, you can see, well, what you could do here simply is you could say, you know what, I like to have manage metadata column. Click on next. And then here you can enable autofill. Or you can basically prompt your autofill here in, or you can say, you know what, the old way, I have a customer set just here, and I like to you go and click and say, every time when I upload a document, analyze that document, check it with the metadata term store I have, and whenever you find a matching thing, just write that customer into my column. And I can go for USA as an example and click on save. And every time when I upload a document, it will go run against the managed metadata service, check for the customers, and if there is a match, it will write into it. So two ways, either with autofill, either with the pay-as-you-go SharePoint AI. So the reason why I always say check the difference, because there is an overlap, that's for sure. Autofill has been taking over OCR, translation, image tagging, taxonomy tagging, and so on and so forward. If you don't have a Copilot license, I'm grateful to Microsoft because we still have that chance to do it, because with pay-as-you-go services, you can definitely consume that. If you didn't have pay-as-you-go, well, you still have Copilot license. So two ways, slightly different results. One is the legacy, if I may say. Future-wise would be the LLM-based approach with autofill, and basically that's all for you. But we haven't been talking about M365 backup, M365 archive, SharePoint embedded, or video, and a bunch of other things. And I could talk hours and show you hours about what SharePoint AI could do with your data, mesh up that data. Capabilities, endless. Scenarios, endless. You just need to know how to use it, when to use it, and what to do when your data is within your SharePoint. And that's where the business value comes. You have your data, you know the services that you can use, the AI services, AI features that you can use. You've meshed the data, and once your data is in SharePoint, sky is the limit. That being said, I think we are just 1 minute before time, so I'd like to say thank you for listening for 45 minutes about what is SharePoint AI, from where we came, where we go, what are the features, what are the things that you can do, how you could actually compare the results of autofill with the Claude AI models, and so on and so forward. A big thank you, merci, gracias, teşekkürler, shukran, muchas gracias, hartelijk bedankt. Merci beaucoup in every language. And one thing, Gokan.studio is my WordPress blog post. Everything that I've been talking about this is on my blog post. So, Marcel, I think I'm done.
Yeah, one question is there a page where we can see the cost of SharePoint AI? It's a question from Firat Buga.
Yeah. And what is the question?
Is there a page where we can see the cost of SharePoint AI?
That is the page. If they take a screenshot, or I can send you the slides, you can send the slides to the attendees. This is the cost per page. It's the content processing.
No. So I think he means an overview page where I know the prices per autofill column, or a price per agent run, and so on. Is there a pricing page?
This is the autofill columns, but there is always the pricing page of Microsoft itself. You just have to go on Google and say like SharePoint pricing. Go for SharePoint Premium or Syntax, search for the legacy words, and you will definitely be on the page with all the pricing.
Yeah, really, really good. So what I see here at this topic, I think this is the gap that the most people who works with M365 or SharePoint doesn't know. Because they think, oh, I need AI, I need to do something with Power Automate, or the old one was AI Builder or do something with Copilot Studio, but these knowledge agent, I think, is a differentiator. It's easy to handle, it's pay as you go, and it's integrated in M365. Yeah, I think this is important to know that.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I want to thank you. It was a great opening session and great keynote. Our next speaker is Christoph Twiehaus. His topic is Copilot notebooks where prompting meets productivity. I want to thank you again. Great session. I hope we see us soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks. 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future. Welcome to Power Bros Knowledge, where Power Platform meets pure innovation. Your business runs on chaos, approvals lost, data scattered, time wasted. We know that pain. Now imagine automating everything, faster, smarter, and built for impact. That's where Power Bros come in, architects of digital change. We don't talk trends, we build results. Our Knowledge Hub turns expertise into action. Real tutorials, real automation, real impact. Whether it's Power Apps, Automate, Logic Apps, or Entra, we make it work together, smarter. Join the Power Bros movement. 30,000 professionals learning, building, and sharing every day. Ready to transform your workflows? Book us now, and let's build something legendary together.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building a solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future. Welcome to Power Bros Knowledge, where Power Platform meets pure innovation. Your business runs on chaos, approvals lost, data scattered, time wasted. We know that pain. Now imagine automating everything, faster, smarter, and built for impact. That's where Power Bros come in, architects of digital change. We don't talk trends, we build results. Our Knowledge Hub turns expertise into action, real tutorials, real automation, real impact. Whether it's Power Apps, Automate, Logic Apps, or Entra, we make it work together, smarter. Join the Power Bros movement. 30,000 professionals learning, building, and sharing every day. Ready to transform your workflows? Book us now, and let's build something legendary together.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building a solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future. Welcome to Power Bros Knowledge, where Power Platform meets pure innovation. Your business runs on chaos, approvals lost, data scattered, time wasted. We know that pain. Now imagine automating everything, faster, smarter, and built for impact. That's where Power Bros come in, architects of digital change. We don't talk trends, we build results. Our Knowledge Hub turns expertise into action, real tutorials, real automation, real impact. Whether it's Power Apps, Automate, Logic Apps, or Entra, we make it work together, smarter. Join the Power Bros movement, 30,000 professionals learning, building, and sharing every day. Ready to transform your workflows? Book us now, and let's build something legendary together.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building a solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
Hello and a warm welcome to our M365 Con. Today here with me is Christoph Treehouse with the topic Copilot Notebooks where prompting meets productivity. Christoph, warm welcome to you.
Hi.
You could start.
Thanks for having me. So let's get ready to rumble, people. Just share my screen. Okay, share screen, and here we go. Just give me a short thumbs up if everything is, seems to be everything is working. Copilot notebooks, or as I call it, where prompting meets productivity. And we're gonna cover the Copilot notebook stuff and explore how they transform simple prompts into real productivity. We connect the concepts, interface elements, and practical application, so you can confidently use notebooks in your daily work at the end. You'll learn about what notebooks are, when they are useful, and how they relate to Copilot pages, Loop, and also the Copilot agents, or the agents for themselves. The core idea behind a Copilot notebook is at the end, is very simple. Provide Copilot with curated context and get responses that are traceable, high quality, and verifiable. So let's dig into it. Just, oops. Hi, what's up? Now we go. Some infos about me. I work as a consultant and sparring partner at leadership level, translating that strategic goals a company has into usable technology, not vice versa. I always come from the strategy part of that stuff, and my focus is on connecting Microsoft 365 with real human work patterns, so that these solutions truly support everyday workflow. And with Copilot and AI, the focus shifts from features to results, speed, quality, and all that stuff. So, and I'm, at the end of the day, I'm a big Loop fanboy, and I'm a big Loop realist, and I'm a big Copilot fanboy, and also a realist. And you know, if you're working within that M365 environment, on the one hand, we have got all that marketing buzzword bingo brought up to us by Microsoft, and on the other side, we have got the reality. There's a big gap between that, and I just try to get that things covered. So, just a short summary of my life so far. My previous roles illustrate how our tools have continuously evolved from more about 25 years ago. From operating systems and directory services to communication platforms at the end of the day. So I moved from the Allianz Life Insurance IT department to an consulting company. I've been with Microsoft and all that stuff. And I've been the marketing guy for launching the former product name of Microsoft 365 in Germany. It's then has been called Business Productivity Online Suite, which is now Microsoft 365. And at the end of the day, I just moved into my own companies and agencies. Okay, Copilot notebooks. So I ask, on the left-hand side, I ask Copilot, he should give me an explanation of Copilot notebooks. And on the right-hand side, it's ChatGPT. And it's not similar, but nearly similar. At the end of the day, Copilot notebooks are personalized work environment where humans and I collaborate through multiple steps. Think of that like your OneNote on steroids or something like that. They preserve context, they document reasoning and incorporate linked sources. This creates at the end a systematic verifiable process that that enables more complex work than traditional Copilot chats. So notebooks serve as creative and analytical workspace, while agents, from my point of perspective, automate tasks and chats, deliver at the end of the day quick answers. Okay, so let's dig into that stuff. Oh, come on, guy. Really, what's this? Sure. My PowerPoint isn't working anymore. Just a second. So, okay, here we go. Just a second. Share screen. Get that stuff done. So, maybe we're gonna get this one. Share. So, here we are. So let's dig into that kind of Microsoft definitions of Copilot notebooks, and what's up? Why you won't click? Here we go. So Microsoft definition of notebooks are it's just a screenshot of one of their several homepages about Copilot notebooks. Copilot notebook, as Microsoft describes notebooks as a personalized AI-supported spaces built on the content that truly matters to you, and they allow you to consolidate your own materials, build answers on top of them. That's at the end of the day the story behind that stuff. The focus is on customization. To be clearly on that, notebook reflects your domain, not generic internet knowledge. It's sitting within your tenant, and it's only sitting within your tenant at the moment. And together with your team, you can surface patterns, insight, and connections in a transparent and verifiable way. So instead of loose, isolated answers, you create a reliable decision record. That's what's all about. And this strengthens adoptions as both. So, and Microsoft's perspective is also, from Microsoft's viewpoint, notebooks are a part of a triad with OneNote, because that Copilot notebooks are sitting also in your OneNote client. Copilot in the middle, and Copilot pages based on Loop on the other side. So OneNote remains your traditional notebook. Pages act as a collaborative workspace, and Copilot serves as your AI partner, and all that stuff together is at the end of the day a Copilot notebook. Together they create an end-to-end workflow, from ideation to refinement to publication. This model helps determine where work should happen and how it should progress. It prevents duplication, because we are just working with referencing and linking and not duplicating content. It maintains clarity and supports consistent workflows. Well, that's the storyline behind that stuff, though. And if we dig into where are the Copilot notebooks sitting within the Copilot cosmos, within the Copilot ecosystem, notebooks sits alongside pages, classical chats. Come on, what's up? Here we go. Classical chat and the agents on the other side. Each has a purpose. Chats provide quick help, notebooks support deep thinking, and agent automate tasks to keep it simple. Choosing the right space reduces friction and prevents work from getting lost at the end of the day. Many people start in the notebook for exploration and later move refined content into a page, which do I also. So agents at the end can take the follow-up task, and this role clarifies, and clarity keeps workflow clean and manageable. So how about the prerequisites? You do need an activated M365 Copilot license, and on the other hand, you do need to have a tenant where Loop is enabled. And in terms of security, no, not in terms of security, in terms of compliance and co, Loop could be a little bit tricky at the moment, and therefore many customers and many agencies just have customized the Loop usage. And if it doesn't work within your tenant, and you have got my goodness, and you have got an enabled M365 Copilot license, just send a quick shout out or a quick answer, friendly question to your IT admin department. Maybe they've got configured a cloud policy for Copilot, and in that cloud policy, if the policy roundabout creating a few Copilot pages and Copilot notebooks is disabled, you may be able to use Loop within your Teams chat and all that stuff, but you won't be able to create a Copilot page, and you won't be able to create a Copilot notebook. Just be friendly to your IP department, because they have got rules and all that stuff they are following on, and maybe therefore they have, just for compliance reasons or other stuff or backup reasons, they just have disabled the cloud policy roundabout Copilot pages and Copilot. So let's dig into it. And just to be crystal clear, we are in a phase where Microsoft is shifting from a first version of their Copilot UX into a new version. And we are just between that both. We have got that old version, I call it the UX 2025, and we have got the new version, or the new UX, that I call is 2026. And I just focus on the 2026 UI. So maybe if you are trying to follow up that steps, or afterwards I will get my PowerPoint and all that stuff, and you just dig into it, and it has a completely different user interface. You've got the 2025. If you ping me afterward, I'm going to send out the link to the PowerPoints I'm presenting, and in the PowerPoint there is also all the things you see on the 2026 UX are also covered in the 2025 UX. Now, we just in between, it should be rolled out worldwide by the end of this quarter. Okay, so just to get that, oh come on. Then the UX version 2025, and nowadays the new version looks like this one. Oh come on. Just my PowerPoint presentation stucks from time to time. Sorry for that. Okay, the new UX is just, if you have got the left-hand navigation rail, you've got a section that is called notebooks. And within the notebooks, you've got the possibility, on the one hand, you see all the notebooks you have already created. And if you tick the plus, you want to be able to just open up a new notebook. So get this one, and you can start from there. And it's highly tricky, because if I try to present that on a live term, I'm just oh come on guys, StreamYard, what's up? So there you see the section. Oh my PowerPoint hang up. Here we go. So if I click in one of the notebooks, I see in the middle of the window, I see all my notebooks. I see my favorite notebooks, and I can see also the notebooks shared with me or shared with you, which also answers the most common questions. Can we share our Copilot notebook? That's it. So if we are here, in the 2026 UX, the home view offers an even more structured and overview of sources and all that stuff. So let's dig into that. Oh, come on. Why is it? Here we go. So I'm just creating a new notebook. And first step is give it a new name. Just name, key sources, and permission checks. So just give it a name. The guidance remain start small with that highly relevant content. So give it a name. Just pick up your first references, and just to be crystal clear on that, you are just referencing all the stuff you are linking to a OneNote, to a Copilot notebook. There's no duplicating, copying, or any one of that stuff. You are just, Copilot notebooks are always working with reference links. So it shows up the last used files from me. It shows on the other hand, my OneDrive, my SharePoint files. I can reference a URL, and I can upload any content from my file server environment, or I can search on that. And also I can drag and drop from my file explorer, any of that stuff. So let's switch to the next stuff. Oh, come on. I think it's the presentation style which isn't working as I want to have it. Come on, guys. So linking or referencing means also that you can, by the end of a month, it's just in the roll-up, you can also reference to external websites, which is a new feature. Nowadays, you can also link to internal stuff. And if you have picked one of the references, you see on at the bottom of the window, just selected references. And if you create your notebook afterwards, you've got all that stuff. Oh, come on. That is a little bit annoying, but my PowerPoint isn't sticking forward. Okay, here we go. If you want to add a link, just keep your URL, add in display text, and it will linking to also internal resources like SharePoint sites, SharePoint team sites, communication sites, all that stuff. Or if you're referencing to an external website, it will incorporate the external website on your stuff also within the next few weeks. Oh, come on. And see over here, if you pick up that OneDrive symbol, you see all your SharePoint pages and all that stuff. And it's like, I call it the Windows Explorer in the M365, or the File Explorer in the M365 environment. Oh, come on, move forward. So here we go. So I created my new notebook, and we've got 3 sections within the stuff. On the left-hand side, the complete navigation rail with that kind of an overview, with the reference links, with also that kind of suggested references, because Copilot Notebook, based on Loop, based on that AI stuff, just digs into which of that stuff could be also a reference for the notebook I created. We've got that at references window. We've got that main part in the middle, which means there is where the magic happens. If my PowerPoint would, at the end of the day, would do what I want to do. Oh, come on, guys. What's up? Just a second. My slides in PDF, just the computer. Share screen. So entire screen. Just give it a second chance. So here we go. Yeah. So in the middle, the references, all that stuff is not shown. And on the right-hand side, you've got that persistent Copilot chat that is sitting within the Copilot notebook, which is sitting within, which is working within the Copilot notebook. You can see it over here. There's no toggle between work and web and all that stuff. So you've got that window, and you see over here, like you're just at the moment, you have selected the first references. There is a process that is here that called its automatic overview. The Copilot notebook starts to generate an automatic overview page within your Copilot notebook, and that is based on all references that are actually within the notebook. So if you add a third, a fourth, a fifth reference, that process of generating an overview will restart automatically again. So you can see over here, I've got that demo Copilot notebook overview, which is very short because there are just only 2 references. We've got that filter sections, because you can filter the references either date or alphabetical, and it automatically shows your filters for pages, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint slides, and also for OneNote. Also, you can add OneNote files to a Copilot notebook. We've seen that automatically overview. Oh, come on. Go ahead, PowerPoint. Here we go. And on the right-hand side, you're just able to work with Copilot against the content. If you add a new reference, you can also use drag and drop. Also, if you have got synchronized files within your file explorer, all that stuff, or if maybe you've got some new file that have been sent by an email, all that stuff, just drag and drop within that box at the bottom of that, add a reference, and it will be added as a reference to your Copilot notebook. Storage of an added reference, which is being uploaded, is your personal OneDrive. And on the other hand, our Copilot library, where all the pages and the images are stored, that has been generated within the Copilot chat, is the Copilot library offers you reusable content that Copilot already understands. And this repository lets teams work consistently with prepared materials and all that stuff. And you can also add that stuff if you click on the 3 dots behind that the lines. You can just add any of the pages to any of the notebooks as a reference. So if you have got Copilot pages en masse like me, you can also add them from the library from Copilot with just one click into your Copilot notebook. You see it here, open or add to a notebook. And at the end, we've got that stuff. You can also, in the UX, the Copilot pages follow the same principle. They turn notebook outcomes into a clear, easily consumable format. You can also just create a page from within a Copilot. If you create a Copilot page from within a Copilot notebook, it sits and is stored within the Copilot notebook. It's not referenced, it just sits. And if you can see over here, it's just based on loop. So if you've got that stuff, you click on create, click on new page, a new page shows up, the page is untitled. You can just build it up with text and loop components and pictures and all that stuff. And just remember, and that like any of the other Copilot pages, you just can create from a Copilot page a document, a presentation, a PDF. You can share that Copilot page as you are used from Copilot pages, just as a link or as a component. And on the other hand, and that is a big difference to the typical Copilot pages. The typical Copilot pages get their name from the Copilot and within the first quote of your prompt. If you create a Copilot page within a Copilot notebook, you just have to rename that untitled to any title you want. And if you have done so, you're going to see that over here. If you get that demo Copilot notebooks, then you have got that the title on the left hand side also, and it will be reflected on that untitled in the header within the next 3 or 4 minutes. And also, as the other Copilot pages, you can add a Copilot page to different all that other stuff. Oh, I see my browser has lost the connection to my camera. Like on the other Copilot page, you can add a Copilot page to several notebooks, and also here you've got that Copilot page. And you click on the upper left 3 dots, the hamburger menu. You can add it to any notebook you want. Okay, so we've got that stuff. Here we go. So let's dig into that kind of prompting. So as you know, prompts are the core steering mechanism in notebooks. The clearer your intent, context, and constraint, the more precise the results are. And every prompt you are sending from within your Copilot notebook is just working on that reference links and all that stuff that are stored within the Copilot notebook. That's the main difference between any other stuff. There's no work button, there's no web button. Copilot notebooks is your prompting container, and all prompts are just working against the content you have stored within your Copilot notebook. Okay, so And then in the new UX, the notebook chat remains context first, but gains modernized panels and clearer navigation in relation to the old stuff. Sources, filters, documents, histories are easy to access because you've got that stuff over here. You have the plus sign, and on the other hand, you've got your chat history within your notebook on your fingertips at the header. Okay, and it's the experience with working at that feels like a structured analysis project. Okay, so the new UX just add panels for deeper insights into sources, changes, and work progress. While interacting with Copilot on the one side, you also see which signals influence the answer, because you see what are the references and which is all that stuff. You see on the bottom, you just more than 41 references that can be also be filtered, can be added, can be created new, and all that stuff. And at the end, these kind of parallel panels. On the left-hand side, the navigation, all the working stuff in the middle, and my Copilot chat as a persistent panel on the right-hand side. They are just, it becomes a true analysis cockpit at the moment. The old interface is just you're moving between that stuff, like if you are just setting up a prompt, you've got a new window and you have just to switch between all that stuff. Okay, at the end, that what really makes sense is you also be able just to give that Copilot within your Copilot notebook instructions on how to answer, how to act, how to behave, like you are just used in other circumstances with your Copilot chat. And if you've got that Copilot instructions, it just works against your Copilot notebook. So every Copilot notebook can have different instructions, and they could be definitely really long. And I use it in several times because I've got Copilot notebooks as a more like an idea pool, and I've got as a project manager, I've got all my meeting notes from the several project job fixes within a Copilot notebook, and he's acting as more as a consultant, all that stuff. That is what I'm setting up within the instructions. And on the right hand side, you see that stuff what you're just used from your normal Copilot chat, like just move a Copilot chat into a group chat or schedule prompts and then feedback and all that settings. You've got that just to set it up within your Copilot notebook. Just keep an eye on that. Okay, so, and every chat you're sending within your Copilot notebook is also reflected in the Copilot left-hand navigation rail within your Copilot chat history. And on that, coming to that, you just don't have to switch between that panels every time, because on the one hand you see you got your chat history, and on the other side it's stuck within your Copilot notebook, and also you're just able from your chat history lines and all the entries in your chat history on the right mouse click, you just add it to a notebook, and that's it. And the end of the day, just daily business. Oops, Copilot notebooks live. Yeah. Oh, it has been. There you see it. Add to a notebook, rename that stuff, the 3 dots or the right mouse click. It's where all the magic happens. To be honest, the new UX makes it very easy to link any chat to any notebook you own. And it's more an intuitive workflow than it has been in the old UX. Automatic summary. Okay. We have got, on the one hand, as I told you before, that kind of automatic summary, which is an automatic process. Every time you open up your notebook, it shows you at the first hand that overview page. And you see over here, this is marked as read-only content within the first 5 minutes. And if you add a new reference, if you add new content to that stuff, then you have got that stuff that the overview page is regenerated automatically. So everybody that has access to your notebook, if you step into that notebook, if you open up on the next working day, you will see a newly generated, up-to-date overview page. What is in terms of what happens within your notebook, what is the key insight and all that stuff. Okay, if you click on that quick create button on the navigation rail, you just can generate a podcast. So you've got your audio overview, and to be honest, hello Notebook LM from Google. Everybody who knows Notebook LM knows one of the key and killer features since many months has been and is still just drop your content, drop it in, and just generate a podcast. And if you sit in the car on the way to a customer, you've got that podcast feeling. And that podcast feeling is also already incorporated within your Copilot notebooks. Just create an audio overview. And you can customize it on the one hand, and on the other hand, we have got that limitations. Nevertheless, that you can dig external web links and all that stuff into your notebook. The audio file is, or the audio overview, at the moment supports only Word, PowerPoint, Copilot pages, OneNotes, and PDFs. So if any Excel content, any picture, whatever, which is sitting within your Copilot notebook will not be included in the audio overview. If you have generated the audio overview, it takes, depending on how many content is referenced within your Copilot notebook, mostly it takes up to 3 to 5 minutes. It will be available for around about 4 weeks. You've got that kind that if you have listened it into around about 10% of the length, you see over here it's 11 minutes 36 seconds. If you have just reached the 10% marker, then you have the ability to save your audio overview to your OneDrive. If you're under that 10% limit, the save to OneDrive will be grayed out or scaled out. And on the other hand, if you've got half that podcast, it will show up in your content as got that over your buttons, and it's Copilot in Loop MP3. So, just take it over here. And if you use that AI marked button, you just can reconfigure all that stuff. And reconfiguring means, I'm just switching back, is you can customize how the podcast is set up. Like, is it a dialogue between two peoples? You can just switch between Eva and Steffen. You can switch between Eva and Andrew. Is it more a professional or a casual style? Short, medium, longer, all that stuff. And also for generating the podcast or the audio interview, the Copilot notebooks could be presented or could be based on some instructions of you, like never told this, instead of this word, use this, and all that stuff. So that is one of the really cool parts, all that stuff. Okay. A new feature that has been, it came to my awareness some 3 or 5 days ago, is just, you've got that you can create a study guide. I haven't made up my mind so far. If you see here, it's a preview feature. And if we create a study guide, It's like a summary or topic pages or flashcards, but unfortunately, whatever I'm going to try, it runs into the topics. It shows me up, which will be covered within the study guide. And at the end of the day, at the moment, I'm just ending up with an empty Copilot page. So I don't know how it will definitely work at the end of the day. I haven't been able just to get it up and running. It's a new feature, 3 or 5 days also. So we're gonna give it a try within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Just follow me on LinkedIn. I'm gonna share a post on that. So we're gonna see. It has been a new Copilot page, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, no content within that. So, how about sharing? You can share your Copilot notebook with any coworker that has got an M365 user account or an email address within your own tenant. Nowadays, it's not possible just to share it like loop pages or other content with external people. So if you want to share it, if you want to work with your team on that, just dig in the email address and you see on the right-hand side, you've got one owner, you've got editors, and behind the editor is just remove from the notebook. And to be crystal clear on that, all notebook content that is referenced within the notebook is shared, and your chat within the content of the Copilot notebook that is kept privately, and the audio overview is just for your ears, or for your eyes only, for your ears only. And on the other hand, if you are referencing to maybe to a SharePoint site, one of your coworkers doesn't have access, you won't get access only by that you invite him to your Copilot notebook, and that for him restricted site is referenced in your Copilot notebook. So the links are shared, but at the end of a link, on the other side, the target point of your link still reflects the access rights of every user within your Copilot notebook. So how about Copilot notebook on desktop and at the mobile app? On your OneNote in the desktop app, you see a new section that is called Copilot Notebooks in the upper left, and beneath that, your traditional OneNote notebooks. And therefore, now you get an idea why I've shown at the beginning the OneNote sign, Copilot, and all that stuff. The Copilot notebooks are also sitting within your OneNote app. And you see the OneNote app still shows the old UX. And also you are able to, come on guys, you've got that get an audio overview, the button is within the notebook, you've got that add work content, all that stuff. It's fully functional, like it is on the browser. If you have got your mobile app, it also shows within your Copilot M365 Copilot notebook app, mobile app. But to be honest, this screenshot has been taken from my iPhone, and my Copilot app, my M365 Copilot app is within the test flight, also the preview, the beta system. I know from other guides, the Copilot notebooks are showing up day by day within their mobile app on the other end. So what's next? My browser has lost the connection to my camera again. Just give it a try. Maybe I'm gonna use the other camera.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future.
Yo, I'm live. Okay, that's a bit, has been crazy. So, just share your screen. Where do we have left? Just a second. Foop. We've been on that roadmap stuff so far. Just a second, guys. So sorry, guys. Whatever happened, it has been a miscommunication between the provider and my computer. So, where can anybody give a sign where I've lost you or where I am being going lost? To be honest, it should be at the end of the day one of the last slides. So I'm just digging into that, what's coming up next with that Copilot notebooks. So on the roadmap, if you dig into that famous Microsoft 365 roadmap, web link as a reference in Copilot notebooks. It's coming up within the next 4 weeks. We've seen that updated Copilot Notebook X. I've shown you the new X, which has been in the preview and should be rolled out within the next month. Recommended notebooks in Copilot notebooks. I've never seen that before. So I'm really happy to see that in February. The overview page is just there in my preview, and it should be starting rollout with that stuff. Suggested references, yes, you have seen that. You can reference on that Copilot notebooks within your Copilot chat. It's in the rollout. So we've got that, just a second, we've got that expanded agent support in Copilot notebook. If you are still having the old interface, you can use the researcher within your Copilot notebook. If you've got the new Copilot notebook interface, at the moment you are not able to use any of the agents within the Copilot notebooks. It's just a feature that should be reintegrated within the next days or weeks, because rollout start last December. We've got that app navigation pane update. Yes, we have got that. That's one which I really love, is if you search within your Copilot app, and you can add any of the output from your prompt, just the 3 dots or the right-hand mouse click, and you can add it as a reference to your notebook. So this one will be pretty cool. It should be rolled out already since November last year, but nobody I know haven't seen them so far. A video overview in Copilot notebooks, like your podcast. If you see the feature description, they are announcing that they generate a video overview, something like a vlog on that stuff. Not a podcast, it's a vlog with Eva and Steffen or Eva and Andrew. I'm just really waiting on that stuff. That Copilot notebook in OneNote on iPhone and iPad, I haven't seen that so far. Copilot notebooks available in OneNote on the web, I haven't seen that so far. It should be there. And then with that, just if you have any questions, just drop them in.
So I think no questions, but I have a question. Regarding to Copilot pages usage, what do you, or notebook usage, what do you think regarding to usage are the best practices where I can use it to optimize my daily outcome?
I use it to be honest. If you've got, like me, we've got several meetings round about a customer project or all that stuff, and I just dig into all that meetings that are loop based and that have got that facilitator notes and all that stuff. I stuck them within one Copilot notebook and just sent my prompts on. Give me a list of all open tasks I have to cover. Give me a list of all that stuff, of the KPIs. That's one of them. The other side is like, if you use your OneNote as a kind of an idea pool, you could do the same with your Copilot notebooks. You've got several chats, you can combine them, send and prompt over 15 or 20 Copilot chats and all that stuff. It's just a mix of your old usage or your usage habits on the OneNote side. And on the other hand, just let the Copilot and the agents work within your stuff which is not possible in your OneNote. Therefore, I use that Copilot notebook mainly as a pool of information, references, and all that stuff. I've got a Copilot notebook for each of my customers. I've got a Copilot notebook for the company strategy of my own, for the company strategy with Andreas, my businesswoman, as you know. And we are just, so if I send, if I got an answer from Copilot on how do we the remaking of our web page, I just put it in a Copilot page. He sees what I've done with the Copilot page. We've got not that forward and vice versa with all that messages. It's just one source of truth.
Thanks. I think this was very important, I think, for a lot of people who don't work every day with it. Yeah. So I want to thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
said and done.
Okay. I don't want to cut you. I want to thank you. It was a really good session, I think, regarding to this topic. I think not so much people work with it, and it's like the session from Gokan, as say the knowledge agent is an it's another functionality what is not so much in use, and but it will help a lot if you use it every day. And so I thank you. And the next session is Dr. Nitin Paranyape with Copilot 3 version 30 best practices. We see us in 5 minutes again. Thank you, and see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Welcome to Power Bros Knowledge, where Power Platform meets pure innovation. Your business runs on chaos, approvals lost, data scattered, time wasted. We know that pain. Now imagine automating everything, faster, smarter, and built for impact. That's where Power Bros come in, architects of digital change. We don't talk trends, we build results. Our Knowledge Hub turns expertise into action. Real tutorials, real automation, real impact. Whether it's Power Apps, Automate, Logic Apps, or Entra, we make it work together, smarter. Join the Power Bros movement. 30,000 professionals learning, building, and sharing every day. Ready to transform your workflows? Book us now, and let's build something legendary together.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building a solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future.
Hello and a warm welcome to the M365 Con. Today, in this expert session, Dr. Nitin Paranyape with his topic, Copilot free version 30 best practices. Warm welcome to you, and yeah, you can start.
Thank you all for joining. We are going to have a fast information-packed session, and I request if you can make it full screen on whatever device you are watching, you'll appreciate it most. I'm going to dive straight into the best practices. The reason I have chosen free version is because majority of the people in the world will continue to use free version. Everyone is not going to get a Copilot license, and that's why we need to focus on them as well. I may not look at the camera much because I have a 3-monitor setup. So please bear with me. So let's start with the first best practice. Most customers I see, they use Copilot either inside Teams or in Outlook. That's wrong. Don't use it. Anything which is app-based requires to be updated. And Copilot new version, new features are coming literally every day, every week. So if you want to get the latest features, the best place is Edge or a browser, preferably Edge. In the browser version of Copilot, you always have the best latest features, no updates required. And why Edge? Because it's created by Microsoft, so it integrates better, security is better, performance is better, and purely as a browser, it has many other features. For example, the sidebar, which allows you to work on not just the currently open tab, but all the open tabs. It's an amazing feature, and many extra native features. One feature I like always used by me is any web page you go to, right click and say QR code. Very often we need those. Split screen, I'm showing this versus that. Split screen not at Windows level, but at browser tabs level. So great browser, and that too integrated with Copilot. So it's a no-brainer. You may have to convince some people to move away from Chrome or Brave, but tell them only with Microsoft products you use Edge. For other browsing, you do whatever you like. Now, there is always a comparison between Copilot and other tools. It will always be there. But the question is not about who has better features. It's all fluctuating, right? It's very fast moving. But even then, the main question to ask is, where is your data? We are talking business data, corporate data. So that means files, mails, and so on. So if the data is on Microsoft platform, then you don't really have a choice, because no other tool, no other AI, however great the features, you're not going to upload all your data there. And that's where Copilot shines, because whatever you put in Copilot is following all your compliance, security, privacy policies. People in IT and compliance may know this, but unless all the users are convinced that this is so, they may either not like it, they may not get, they may be concerned about putting data there, or they may not understand the implications and randomly put data, corporate data, in other tools. So both ways it is bad. So please make sure everyone understands at least a simplified meaning of what enterprise data protection means. In simple terms, the data is not going to be used for AI training. It will follow all your policies. And if you generate something, whether it's a visual copy, whatever, and then someone sues you saying this is my picture, there may be a litigation. All that litigation will be managed by Microsoft. So that's called copyright protection. No other tool or no other AI gives you all this. So that's why, even if it's a free version of Copilot, it protects data. So you have to explicitly enable it for all users and educate them to use Copilot for corporate Gen AI. In the same breath, you have to disable all other AIs to prevent misuse of data. One of the biggest culprits I'm seeing is those random meeting bots. People sign up and then they forget to remove the sign in, and then that bot continues to hear all your meetings in life. It's a very bad way to leak your data. So encourage people to do this and convince them that they can confidently put IP related data, confidential data, secret data in Copilot, even if it is free version. Next, this is a no-brainer. Of course, we will always use the latest model, but it's not that simple. Let me show you. I'm sure all of you use Copilot anyway. Most people will go to Copilot and just type the prompt and get the answer, because they think there is auto, and auto is going to decide should it be quick answer or deep thinking. That is correct. The system will decide based on a per prompt basis, should it go quick answer, should it go deep thinking. But even if it goes this way or that way, both are wrong. So remember, simple best practice: when you see a drop down, open it. Why? Because here there is more, and this is the best practice. Don't ever use auto. Don't use this. Don't use this. When you put a prompt, think, do I need a quick answer? Do I need deep thinking? Then open this drop down and choose whatever is the latest version, currently 5.2. That will also change in few months. So whatever is the latest version, quick or deep thinking, or maybe a third option, consciously decide for every prompt. That's how you ensure you're using the latest model. It's so simple, but most people miss it. Next, there are menus in Copilot. Like earlier speaker was saying, this is redesigned now, the 2026 edition, if you want to call it that way. Now this is quite simple: chat, search, library, and so on. But that's not the only UI change, and that's a big problem. What I'm asking you to do, and this is the best practice, not just for Copilot, for any piece of software, is to look consciously, actively, proactively look at everything. And we absolutely never do it. Not just for Copilot, for no software. So this is Copilot. I have not put anything there. Most people see this text box, they interact with it, job done. Rest of the UI is simply not visible to them. It gets mentally blurred in attentional blindness. So please open your eyes and look at every button, every UI entry point. Consciously, I have named or given numbers. There are 21 active things there. Most people use 2 or 3. Why Microsoft has put them? Because they have a purpose, and that may be something relevant and useful to you. That's how you learn. Now we have learned software traditionally like this. We get a software, we go to menus, we know what I want to do. What does this button do? Do I need it? Okay, I click on it. That's how we have learned the software. So this is Excel. If I ask you how many features, you'll say, I don't know the number, but lots of features. I know where to go, where to click. I know this will create a pivot table, this will make it red, this will left align. So it's predictable and repeatable. If I click on this button 20 times, it's still going to give red color, not blue, unless I choose it explicitly. So it's repeatable, predictable, and deterministic. Now, compare that to Copilot. How many new features? How many more features? One text box. Now here I know every button has a purpose. Every button is a feature. Whether I use it or not, that's a separate issue. But if someone asks you, how many features does Copilot have? It looks like only one or very few, because there is one text box. So there is a problem. If I don't know that Copilot is capable of doing something, I'm not going to ask that question. And that's the biggest problem with Copilot and all the Gen AI in the world. Nobody is doing anything about it, but Microsoft did. They understood that this problem is there, and they created a library of prompts by pulling them from across the world. That's your way to understand Copilot capabilities. So how do you do that? You go to prompt library. Now, where is that prompt library? Unfortunately, in the default screen, it is in a weird place. There's the default screen. There's a button, see more, but as you know, nobody sees it. So please click on it, scroll down, go to prompt gallery. This is the prompt gallery. Everyone, even if you are an expert, MVP, doesn't matter. Just go through this prompt library. It's a very long list. And because it's a long list, look at the smaller scroll bar here. It's 1100 plus last time I counted. You have to have 30 minutes of patience to go through them. And what do? Look at each one and think, do I need it? If you need it, please don't try it immediately, because you will never come back to it. Bookmark it. If you don't need it, don't just ignore it. Think, there is a share button. Does anyone else in my team need it? Then share it with them. And both these not necessary, then go to the next one. So like this, think, bookmark, share, or go to the next one. Like that, you go all the way to the bottom. It'll take half an hour. That's an investment in future. Trust me. Spend that time. And then once that is done, then your prompts are here. Now these are the shortlisted ones. Again, before you click on it, think, should I share it with someone? And then try it. And I'm sure you'll like it, because you have shortlisted it. This is called applied knowledge. You've already chosen what you need. In the process, whatever may be your level of expertise, you will find at least 5 or 10 new things which are relevant. And this was the only way of getting there, because otherwise you could not have imagined them. So that's the importance of perusing the prompt library. Then prompting. There's a lot of hype about prompt engineering. It's simple, really. When a thought comes to your mind, you put it as a prompt. Now that mind of yours has all the context, but that prompt is just a couple of sentences. Copilot doesn't have the context. That's why you have to give additional relevant information. That is prompt engineering in very simple terms. Now, how do you do it? There is a prompt coach, so you should use prompt coach. Even if you are a beginner, expert, doesn't matter. How do you do that? Very simple. Go to all agents, scroll down, you will see prompt coach. First time you go click on it, add it, and then it will get added here. Pin it. So idea is, everyone knows where is prompt coach. That is awareness. But what is the practical application? The important thing you have to remember is, for every important prompt, you have to go through prompt coach. Try it out and you will see the difference. You tell prompt coach, this is my prompt, you improve it. Even if you think you have written a good prompt, you'll be surprised. Prompt coach will ask you additional relevant information. give you a more comprehensive prompt, and you will get better results. So simple best practice, always use prompt coach for any non-trivial or important prompt. Prompt coach, you can also tell, I'm going to use this prompt in analyst. I'm going to use this prompt as custom instructions. It understands that and it does it. And as though this is not enough, you can customize the prompt coach. So how do you customize prompt coach? Prompt coach Microsoft has given. How do you customize? Well, it's just an agent. So you create an agent. In the agent, this is the simple agents for, by the way, this is free version. So it's simple declarative agents. Open this template and you will see prompt coach. And when you open that, you will see the prompt for prompt coach, which Microsoft has written. You should see all those prompts. There's a lot to learn from that. And then, because this is the prompt for prompt coach, you can customize it with your jargon, your industry terminology, your requirements, your compliance things, whatever. And then save it as my prompt coach and use that one. You'll get even better results. Now, custom instructions, most people still have not put them. So if you haven't put custom instructions, you can even stop watching this and just go and do that. It's that important, because Copilot, however great it is, it has knowledge about all topics. It doesn't know you. So it's very important to understand that all AI is giving you generic answers. If it knows who you are, then it will give you better answers. That's custom instructions. How do you put them? Go to these three dots. Again, three dot nobody clicks on. Settings. And under settings, you go and put new chat, three dots, settings, personalization, edit instructions. So here you have to put the detail intro. I have just put one line here. I am the head of HR for BFSI as a demo. But what you should put here is all this. The more detail you put, the better it is for you, because Copilot is going to give you more specific and relevant results. These are not hard and fast items. You can add more, you can add less, but comprehensive is important. And in the same text box, you also write your preferences. Here for fun, I've just asked Copilot to call me Your Majesty Doc. But what you should ideally put there are your detailed preferences. Again, I have tried to find all kinds of things which will impact positively the output of Copilot. Again, not a comprehensive list, but a good start. So when you put both these, your life changes, because this set of instructions is going to be followed by Copilot in chat, in Teams, in Outlook, in Word, PowerPoint, across the platform. So put both the preferences. Then while interacting with Copilot, if you remember something, you can feed your preferences to Copilot by going to memory. For example, now if I just say I like pink color, it may not. So the phrase to use is remember or I prefer. Once I say something like that, Copilot says, oh, this person is trying to educate me about that person's preferences. So it says, okay, I'll remember that, and you will see this. That's how you can feed it as you go along. And these accumulate over time. Sometimes it picks up items automatically. So periodically, every 15 days, 1 month, go there, look at the memory items, unwanted, irrelevant ones, remove them. That's all there is to it. Now the idea is, when you put a prompt, all these things are being applied to it. What do I mean by that? When you put a prompt, not just the prompt, your custom instructions, memory, chat history, prompt, everything is getting combined. So it's important to understand that they can be switched on or off. All these settings have an on off. So in certain cases, particular prompt, I don't want it to follow custom instructions. I don't want the prompt to know I am head of HR, for example. So switch it off. You can selectively switch off also. And when you finish that kind of prompt, remember to switch it on again. Otherwise, they'll remain off lifelong. That's another common mistake. So remember this cycle and on off when required. Next, file referencing. Now this is very important, especially for free version. In free version, many people think that all the files have to upload. That's wrong. Even the free version of Copilot has full access to your data. Data means Word, Excel, PowerPoint, everything on OneDrive, Teams, SharePoint. The problem is, unless you explicitly refer to those files, Copilot is not going to act on them. So that's where file referencing comes. All of us know how to do it, but just to show again, go to new chat, plus sign, and then it'll give you 3 options, or you just say /. Now the problem is when people go to these 3 options, they don't know how to use it properly. First problem is when you go here and search for something, don't find it, you get disgusted because you say, I know the file is there, this guy is not finding it. Very frustrating. Why is it not finding? Because you didn't open the file. This is recent file search. So please understand the difference between these 3 options. First option, which is called add work content, only searches recent files. So if you don't find it, no problem, go to attach cloud files. That is the full data estate, as we call it. So here you will be able to see all your cloud files, OneDrive, Team, SharePoint, and within that all these categories. Most people don't know that because when they go to this dialog, they're already confused and this pane is closed by default. So most people don't even notice what is there. That's why I've given that slide. So please, when you go to that, take some time to familiarize yourself with what is available when you go to this file open dialog. This is the cloud version of file open dialog or file explorer for cloud. Open this pane and learn it. So couple of beautiful things there are, of course, my recent files, all my OneDrive files shared with me by others, favorite files, easy. But this is very interesting. I remember the person, not the file. So go from person. I remember the meeting, go from meeting, like that. And then you can multi-select as well. In paid version, you can now select folders also, I think. But how many can you select? That's important. Free version 3 at this point of time. Paid version 20. These limits have not changed in last 2 years, but hopefully they will increase. But remember, if you want 6 files and you have free version, don't feel bad. 3 files per prompt. So give a prompt, give 3 files, then follow up with another prompt with another 3 files. Irritating, but still feasible. So that's how you reference files. And very important part, as far as possible, in today's world, you shouldn't have, remember, in today's world, you shouldn't have what kind of files? Cloud only files, correct? So all your files should be on cloud. So although Microsoft has given upload, don't upload because that's going to make a copy. Drag drop seems convenient, it's making a copy. Even if you drag drop a OneDrive sync file, it's going to make a copy. So avoid this at all costs. If you're still stuck in legacy era and you're not still convinced about cloud files, get convinced. Move all your local only files to OneDrive because for local drives files, you have no safety, no backup. They are more vulnerable than on cloud. So use the correct file referencing mechanism. Now, what do we do? If you have a prompt, you get results. Very easy. And then what do? Look at the results. No, don't do that. First, you look at the prompt. So let me give you an example. Let's go and give a prompt. Never mind what the prompt is. This is just a demo. Now, when I give a prompt, I get results. People are going to scroll and look at the results. But before that, go to the prompt and think of prompt actions. Is this prompt correct? Do I need to edit it? That's why there is an edit button. Don't copy paste. Edit does that for you. Then if you want to paste it somewhere else, then you copy paste. Is this a reusable prompt? Then bookmark it. Then it goes into your prompts and then you can reuse it next month. And is it useful to someone else? Share it right now because then you're going to forget. So before you start reading the output, first look at the input and take relevant action. Then next we have response actions similar to, so this is what we get as response actions. Copy and paste, very common because mostly people will paste in Word. Don't do that because there is a direct Word option. Nobody clicks on 3 dots. If it's a long output, then sometimes hearing is better than reading. So read aloud. If you want to edit something, then here. If you like it, nobody is going to click on this. But if you dislike it, at least give feedback because based on this global feedback, the product is evolving fast. So your feedback is absolutely looked at every day. And then if this output is useful to someone, of course, share it with everyone. So those are response actions. And last but not the least, irrespective of what prompt you put, Copilot will think further on your behalf and suggest some actions and prompts. Please look at them and use the relevant ones. That's how the interaction is becoming richer and more effective. Sometimes when you create Word or Excel or PowerPoint files and open them, they may open in desktop or browser. That is controlled from a setting on desktop version of Office. File options advanced, file open preferences. So some people don't like things opening on browser, change this to desktop. Next, if you want to edit the output of Copilot, don't copy paste it in Word just for that. Put it in Copilot Pages. That's why we have this button here. Copilot Pages will create a loop page, automatically add it, dump the output there, and all the benefits of loop components are available here. But before you do that, this rename is important because typically the prompt is long and the names are weird. So before you do anything else in the page, rename the page. Then think, what do I want to edit? Then also think, do I want to include someone in the collaborative editing? And when you're done, then of course you can convert it to add to notebook, convert it to Word and all that. So it's a fully editable page. Remember, you can also add task list, checklist and all other components here. So please use Copilot Pages for output editing purposes. Oh, and one more very common problem. I already created a page and then I am in completely different chat. And then I want to add this output to an existing page. And most people make the mistake of clicking on this because nobody opens drop down. Add to recent page is the correct way to do it. So otherwise you will end up creating multiple pages and confuse yourself. Now here is another example. At the bottom of this page, there are some Copilot shortcuts below the page. They are very interesting. They adjust content, add detail, shorter, and so on. Create a blog post as well, or change the tone and add some conclusion, introduction, and all that. And by the way, because this is a loop page, you can also add a TOC. If you are appending a lot of content, it will accumulate. You will lose track of what is there. Add a TOC, which is a loop component. It's auto updated. Now, where do these pages go? Of course, they go into the library. So go to library and you will see pages which created by you, shared with you. By the way, there's a new page button, which most people miss. Maybe I just want a new page and work on it. That's possible. And there's another way to create a page. I'll tell you later. It also keeps track of all your images which you have created using the create option. Except videos, everything else archive is here. All right, let's move on. Copilot search is absolutely unknown and underutilized. It's a very powerful tool. It's so simple, but so powerful. This is the most powerful search because it searches across the board. I'm just searching one word, sales, and look at what it has searched. All my files, all my SharePoint sites, all my contacts. News means intranet news and Yammer or Engage. Messages means Teams and Outlook. This is also free version. Images. Microsoft has already done OCR of all your data. So all images are visible and searched. No extra effort, no SharePoint Premium. There's native out of the box feature. Also videos. Videos means meeting recordings as well. So this is the single most powerful search. And even in free version, when you go to search, something else very interesting happens. You will see quick access, recent files basically. And these recent files have automatically generated common prompts. You can click on them and take relevant action. These prompts change depending on the file. And then there is a sparkle-like icon. If you go there, it will gather information, give you some information about the file, and you can start chatting about that file right here. Amazing stuff. Most people miss it. So that's about search. Next. Create. Very powerful. Even in free version, you can create all this. Earlier there was a difference. Now everything which is in paid version practically is available in free version. And there is a very powerful editor. Many of us use Canva or Adobe or whatever. So all these sophisticated AI features are now available in the editor of create option. So if you already have an image, you don't want to create it, you just want to edit an image, that is a possibility. Where is that? You have to click on more and there is edit an image. You provide the image and just start editing it. Very powerful, very useful. So when you create an image, before you start creating an images, scroll down and look at all the examples. They are not just example images, they are different type of use cases. Just eyeball them, you will get new ideas of what can be done. For example, I can provide an image. It's a simple room and I'm asking it to make it look like a classroom. That's a good use case. So another one, I'm creating an infographic, states of matter. I'm not telling it what they are. It is smart enough to figure it out. You can give color combinations, styles, and all that. Here is another one, extremely powerful, posters. So I'm asking it to create a poster for my workshop. I'm giving my brand colors, which I've intentionally I've chosen dull colors. How will you create an attractive poster with this? Look at the output. Amazing output. And this is not just one image, by the way. After it's generated, you go to edit mode. And in the edit mode, all those features plus editing of text. Amazing stuff available. And as though this is not enough, you can translate the same thing in multiple languages and create multilingual output. Similarly, you can create brand kits now. All of us are worried about brand kits. So create a brand kit with logos, colors, heading styles. And if you have enabled organizational template library, your PowerPoint and other templates will also appear here. But you can also create direct social media templates from here. Now video creation also available. Two types of video creation. What two types? Once you go to create video, either from direct video project, just give a prompt, or from existing Word or PowerPoint files. And third part is generate a clip, means Sora. So from document, you give a document, it'll create a video. That's it. In this 3-page document, it created a 3-minute video with transcript. And if you have Clipchamp, which is E3 or Business Premium, you can actually start editing it and change everything, cut it, put clip art, title it, everything possible. Now there is text to video, which is Sora. So I can generate short clips up to 12 seconds. So I'm asking it to create a person taking a selfie in front of Eiffel Tower and Taj Mahal juxtaposed next to each other. And it created the video, 8-second video. So amazing stuff available in the create option. If you have not explored this create, please do it. It's really powerful. And equally powerful and completely underutilized is image analysis. Here is a great example. Taken a photo of our aircon remote. I asked it, what is this? So it looked at the LCD panel. It's telling me it's in dehumidifier mode, fan speed is low. Then it's explaining each button. Then I asked it to guess the brand because the logo is not seen. It guessed the wrong brand because there is one word there which looks like a Indian word. So it thought it is an Indian brand. I told it it's not correct. Then it searched, visual search, and then it found the correct brand. And now look at the suggested prompts. It's saying, should I give you the PDF guide for this? And it actually generated a visual guide for me. There's not the PDF downloaded from LG website that it generated live. There are some alignment issues, but it's still amazing. Similarly, any kind of image works. There's a chemical reaction as a picture. It's telling me this is how soap is made. It's called saponification. There's a photo of a auditorium. I asked it to count the seats. It counted 168. Like that, handwriting, bad handwriting, badly exposed photo, it actually recognizes the text, and of course it can translate in any language. So please use image analysis capabilities as well. Now, agents. The most powerful prompt in all this actually is this. What is the most powerful prompt? Let's take a step back. Copilot is by Microsoft. We have been using Microsoft products for decades, but this is not how we look at them. We look at the buttons we know, we ignore the buttons we don't know. That's called ignorance and inefficiency. The entire world works like this. If you count all these buttons, which we have been ignoring, all the feature set, 14,000 features, by the way, I counted. How many do we use? 50, 60, 100. So from what angle does this look efficient? Yes, we are getting the job done. Nobody is cross-checking. Everyone is inefficient. You want to become efficient? This is the way. The good news is, the bad news is you don't have time to learn. Okay. The good news is Copilot knows all the 14,000 features. So the most powerful use of Copilot is you tell Copilot every activity you perform around Microsoft platform. This is what I do. You tell me the best way. So this is going to be your homework for life now. So example, I have 10 CSV files. I open them one by one, copy paste, and then make a pivot table. What is the best way? I'm asking Copilot. It's telling me do Power Query. If you want Python, it will give you that as well. So it will give you multiple options. You choose the best and optimize your work. That is the most important use of Copilot. Next, create agents. That's another problem. Everyone uses Copilot as Copilot. That's not enough. Copilot is an assistant by default, but you deal with different types of people. So you should be able to switch Copilot roles on demand. How do you do that? You think of your job and think of different type of people you meet. So if you are a salesperson, you meet customers, you meet finance people, you meet production people, you have to negotiate. So these are the roles. So identify your roles and create an agent for each role. Go to agent, give it a name, create a prompt. Prompt coach is there to help you, and that becomes your critic agent. So you create a PPT now, create a document, ask critic agent to criticize it. Constructive criticism. If it's a negotiation coming up with customer, create a customer agent with the persona of the customer, and then what objections typically customer take. That agent will do it for you so that you are better prepared for negotiations. Because you are going to have many such agents, some agents which persona switch, only instructions are enough. Some agents you can add websites, and nowadays agents can create Word, Excel, PowerPoint files as well as images. So enable both. And because you are going to have a lot of agents, share them with each other and pin the most useful agents. Here, like that. Next, Copilot free version is available in M365 apps. Not all of them, but the important ones, at least as of now. So all these apps have a Copilot pane. And what is the important part? The currently open document that Copilot understands. So it's better to do it here than go to chat and refer to the file. Less effort. So first thought process is, should I do it in chat or should I go to the relevant tool? For example, here, I went to Copilot and asked Copilot for identifying risk factors for this document. It identified them, detailed, and then there is a add to doc button. So in free version, the only thing it does is produces output and allows you to add to document. That's it. Paid version, of course, you have inline Copilot as well, but this itself is very powerful. And finally, you must have heard of context engineering as another jargon coming up. It's very simple. We already know it. What should you do before pressing enter of a prompt? So all the preparation for getting great results for a prompt is context engineering. We have already seen all of these. So just consciously use this as a checklist and you will get much better results. There are some new features which many IT people block for unknown reasons. So please ask them to enable. If you are from IT, please do a favor to all your users. Please enable all the frontier programs. It's still Microsoft driven and it still follows all compliance, security, privacy. So how do you enable it? Go to admin, settings, enable frontier for all users. It's that simple. And of course, pin Copilot chat. That's also another thing. I'm still seeing many customers not doing it. That's literally doing a disservice to the entire organization. Please enable it for everyone. Finally, a quick comparison of free versus paid. As you have seen, free itself is very powerful. What does paid do extra? In free, it doesn't have email, chat, meetings access. You have to manually copy paste. Files, free version does have access, but you have to explicitly refer. Whereas in paid version, it will implicitly find relevant files, meetings, chats, and mails. That is the power. Then Copilot inside documents not available in paid. Agents, yes, simple agents here, powerful agents through Copilot Studio in paid version. Response time technically supposed to be slower and some quota, but I have not faced any problems from customers. Voice chat and Copilot notebooks not yet available. So that's about it. Bottom line, free version is very powerful. Please encourage everyone to use it. And that's the last one, educate all users. Please do this. People are conducting Copilot sessions for 30, 40 people. What is the point? All users are supposed to use it. So conduct a session across the board. We have teams. The capacity is 10,000 or 1 lakh. What is the problem? Yes, you have geographically spread. Conduct 2 sessions. Awareness is first important, and then people will find use cases. Don't go searching for use cases. Educate people, and all users will now give you use cases. So that's the idea. And when you educate users, what do you tell them? Not just imbibe the knowledge conducted during the session and use it. No, you tell the users, make a list of all Microsoft activities and then tell Copilot to improve them, and then find the best way, use the best way. If that best method is applicable to more than few people, create an SOP and let the bosses disseminate that SOP across the organization. Who should be doing this? Not just IT, not just L&D, everyone in the organization. And that's how you maximize the value of Copilot. So learn, apply, share, standardize, and repeat. So that's it. This is a quick intro. These are some of the customers I worked with recently. And this is my YouTube. Thank you.
It was an amazing overview, I think, with a lot of topics. And my question is regarding to that. So there are so many agents. And if I think, I know there are a lot of agents in M365 Copilot and in the free Copilot version. But how can I get the best overview about that? So I know there is an agent, but so we most people are trained to, I have a problem, I put something in my chat and I will get an answer.
Correct.
So and this is an adoption problem, I would say. How you teach here the people?
Yeah. So as an individual, before you put anything in chat, check if there is an agent. Because what is an agent? It's specialized chat with a very specific skill. So it's in your interest to search if there is an agent. In fact, you can ask base Copilot chat, is there an agent for it? That's the best way. And if you find it, start using it. From adoption point of view,
Okay.
team should look at available agents and think which roles, which personas will benefit, and proactively teach them. So both ways.
Yeah, it's in strategy because so a lot of people are not so structured, and but if there's as you said in your last sentence, is it a part of adoption? If people know about that, we will use it, and I think this tool are very mighty. So that means. So if they know about it, they should use it for their daily work. Yeah. So, Mirko, if we have questions in the from the stage from the card, no. So yeah, then I want to say thank you. It was an amazing session. Our next session is with Vesa Nopanen, Copilot Pages and Notebooks, AI native co-creating from zero to hero. And we see us back in 18 minutes. Thanks. Goodbye.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future. Welcome to Power Bros Knowledge, where Power Platform meets pure innovation. Your business runs on chaos, approvals lost, data scattered, time wasted. We know that pain. Now imagine automating everything, faster, smarter, and built for impact. That's where Power Bros come in, architects of digital change. We don't talk trends, we build results. Our Knowledge Hub turns expertise into action. Real tutorials, real automation, real impact. Whether it's Power Apps, Automate, Logic Apps, or Entra, we make it work together, smarter. Join the Power Bros movement. 30,000 professionals learning, building, and sharing every day. Ready to transform your workflows? Book us now, and let's build something legendary together.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building a solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future. Welcome to Power Bros Knowledge, where Power Platform meets pure innovation. Your business runs on chaos. Approvals lost, data scattered, time wasted. We know that pain. Now imagine automating everything, faster, smarter, and built for impact. That's where Power Bros come in, architects of digital change. We don't talk trends, we build results. Our Knowledge Hub turns expertise into action, real tutorials, real automation, real impact. Whether it's Power Apps, Automate, Logic Apps, or Entra, we make it work together, smarter. Join the Power Bros movement, 30,000 professionals learning, building, and sharing every day. Ready to transform your workflows? Book us now, and let's build something legendary together.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building the solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks. 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building the solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future. Welcome to Power Bros Knowledge, where Power Platform meets pure innovation. Your business runs on chaos, approvals lost, data scattered, time wasted. We know that pain. Now imagine automating everything, faster, smarter, and built for impact. That's where Power Bros come in, architects of digital change. We don't talk trends, we build results. Our Knowledge Hub turns expertise into action, real tutorials, real automation, real impact. Whether it's Power Apps, Automate, Logic Apps, or Entra, we make it work together, smarter. Join the Power Bros movement. 30,000 professionals learning, building, and sharing every day. Ready to transform your workflows? Book us now, and let's build something legendary together.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I train people to become Power Platform Solutions Architects. If you're watching this, you know Power Platform, but be honest, when you're building a solution, are you using the best tools to solve the problem, or just the tools you know? If you love building powerful, scalable solutions that make your company money, let me share why our training is different. We've noticed that the best architects know a series of best practices and they apply them to every project. So we took all these best practices and put them into this course.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future.
Hello and a warm welcome to the M365 Con. Our expert session speaker today is Vesa Nopanen from Finland. A warm welcome. The topic today is Copilot Pages and Notebooks, AI native co-creating from zero to hero. Vesa, you could start.
Oh, thank you, Marcel. And hey, everyone, welcome to the session. This is actually my first session of the year on the community side. So this is a great to get started with community presentations and sessions. And thank you for the introduction. And as said, today we will be talking about going zero to hero with Copilot Pages and Notebooks. And how do you work with basically AI natively and co-create with the AI when you are creating some content? So let's get started. And there. My name is Vesa Nopanen, and please just call me Vesku. I'm a principal consultant for AI native future work at Sulava MEA. And I'm also a Microsoft MVP, so I'm there with Microsoft 365 and of course with the Microsoft Foundry. But feel free to connect with me at LinkedIn, read my blog. From the link tree, you can find all the relevant URLs there are. And of course, you can drop me a message if you like. And it's interesting to be on these online events again. And after a very, very busy autumn I had with the in-person events. But I live in Finland, Turku, so finally, again, once more, a chance to kind of do a session from the home. So I hope you had time to read the QR code, and if not, just look me up in that at LinkedIn. So today we'll be covering a few topics there. Of course, what is AI native working? What does it generally mean? I could be starting to talk about frontier firms, but let's drop that to the other session. And then taking a look up about what are Copilot Pages and Notebooks, because I don't think a lot of people yet are aware about these or have been using these actively. So kind of give you an idea. What's the idea or basis of this? And then there's usually the question about what about the OneNote? How does the Copilot Notebooks and OneNote relate to each other? So we have a short look about that. But most of the time, we should be using and at our time in demos, so you will see this in action. And then I will close with some administration stuff about behind the scenes, about what are these Copilot Pages and Notebooks. So in case there are somebody who's interested about, okay, the admin side, you get a short look. If you are not interested about the admin side, then just tag along. And finally, we just do a wrap up and also see about what's coming next for Copilot Pages and Notebooks. So let's get started. First of all, in the AI native work, you have to start thinking about AI. It's your colleague. It's just not a kind of a tool. Hey, I need a few chapter for this, so I go there and provide all the information and get information back. So when you are working with the AI, you should start thinking about, okay, how I'm working with colleagues, how we are having access to the same information, how we are sharing the information together, so we can really work together, and whatever my teammate in this time AI can provide to me, I can basically use it. Of course, I can make changes whenever I want. So it's kind of just thinking about that, hey, we are co-creating these things with the AI. It's just about me creating and utilizing some tools. I guess that's a kind of a bottom line. And so you can start utilizing AI already when you're starting to ideate things, when you are drafting things. And even when you are making decisions, you can always ask for opinions. But ultimately, of course, it's you, human, who's making the decision. Then when you're doing this work, it's more content rich. So when it already AI has access to your resources. For example, in the Copilot notebooks, you will have something related to the project or the task or the blog post or something, whatever you are doing. So it's already aware of the context. So when we are working with Copilot, of course, it's also we are working AI natively. and it has access to everything we have access to in Microsoft 365. But when you are working with the context, then we are already talking about, hey, we are talking about this project or these documents and these notes which are there. So that's kind of a big thing, because we don't have to start explaining which information to use there, for example. So it's AI is there all the time assisting us. And integrated creative and collaboration. So we'll be utilizing Copilot Pages for this. And so whenever we are ideating something, we can materialize that into some page, document, whatever we want to do, and kind of collaborate even further from there. So we can brainstorm together with the AI, whatever we are doing. So I don't have to just think by myself, but hey, let's get my AI teammate or teammates, in case of agents, to help me out. Okay, what's the thing I need, and what could be we doing, so we can kind of hey, let's create something new and get more ideas all the time from the AI. But this also means that you have to think about your role. Okay, how do you evolve? We are in the world where we are continuously learning. That's the must. We have to learn all the time. Things are changing in a like faster than before. So you have to also learn, okay, how I'm going to be the boss for the AI and the agents. So okay, what kind of tone, format, how we co-create with outputs, how I can utilize AI the best. Sometimes it's even best, okay, I leave the AI out and I just do it. But there's less and less those needs generally, because AI is getting better and better all the time. So you think about, okay, what are my skills that I'm going to need when I'm commanding or assigning tasks for the AI? Some people haven't ever been project managers or team leads, and or many of people, and so they don't necessarily know, how do I manage team? And in this case, your team members are digital. So you need to start to pick up the tasks and basically skills. Okay, how do I break this to smaller tasks so my team members, my digital team members, can help me out? And just the kind of last one is going to be where we are heading very, very fast, is the proactive and autonomous AI. So how we are starting to utilize AI in a proactive way. It's just not, okay, I'm asking things, and it's still a bit disconnected experience there. But instead, AI is starting to do things like managing tasks and maintain context across those projects and driving the collaboration without constantly doing my input. So we are already seeing things like, okay, it can be proactive or autonomous with the agent mode, for example. So the AI is just rewriting a lot of things because you are asking it. Or you have agents that can be scheduled, or they're just autonomous and giving you information. And basically, that's the way we are going forward more and more, because AI is going to be proactively providing you information and doing things on its own. But you are there to guide it. You're the manager. You're the agent boss. So all this requires from you curiosity. You need to be curious. Okay, what can I do with this? How can I learn more? And of course, courage. Okay, I need to have the courage to try out these things, and because some of those may feel first a bit uncomfortable, because hey, I'm giving a lot of, I feel I'm giving a lot of control to the AI, when in the reality I'm not. But it just takes courage and of course time there. And finally, the collaboration is the key, and it's collaboration with AI, of course, but also with your human team members. Because when you collaborate together, you are sharing your experiences, you are sharing your successes and failures. With the AI, you all learn a lot faster than just you are doing this on your own with the AI. So that's the part. Collaboration always includes humans as well. So, Copilot Pages. I mentioned that a couple of times. What are these? So it's a kind of a mouthful: persistent, shareable, AI-generated work artifacts. And but it's what it does. It materializes what's the result from the Copilot. So basically, whenever you are doing the chat, you are just changing, instead of copy pasting that information to Word, to notebooks somewhere, you can just do it inside the Copilot. Hey, let's make it a page. So I can reuse it and I can edit it. I can share it and so on. And these are basically designed for quite a quick ideation. So hey, I'm going to ideate things with Copilot. I'm just kind of putting things there, and so I don't have to copy paste them, but ideating, collecting information, I'm going to do something about that later on, or I just keep them as notes. Combine my notes, Copilot notes. Perhaps I need a human colleague there. I can invite them to work along with that draft. So the thing is that in that setup, humans and Copilot can co-create things, and we can co-edit the same content at the real time. So, and that's the thing. We are all working on the same content at the same time. The pages are very lightweight by design, so it's not a Word document, or it's not a PowerPoint or something else. It's a very lightweight. That's the kind of the idea. Hey, I can put in information, and I can, of course, expand that and edit that as I need. But when you want to kind of create that as a document, hey, this is now my blog post, or this is my specification document, I may want to create that as a Word document, for example. Or perhaps I need a presentation out of that. So you can do a lot of these things with Copilot pages. And that's kind of hopefully a quick, more clear way about getting to understand what are these pages. Then we have the notebooks. So these itself, they are kind of a scratch books. That was the how they were defined when they first came out. You have a scratch book or a notebook of information, where you can put in everything relevant to the project, topic, goal, whatever you are doing. And or kind of a folder. You just put in there, okay, these documents are there. Hey, I also need this and that information as part of that. And so you collect the information there. And so it will bring together all these, well, pages, of course, Copilot pages, but it can start to include, you have a chat history there, you have other files, you have Word documents, PDFs, something else, and even links. And what's the thing is that when you have this context of Copilot notebooks, in a ChatGPT, there's a similar thing. It's called projects. And so you can start to utilize Copilot within that scope. Hey, I need a summary of everything here, or I need to write a document based on this information, and you just command Copilot in that prompting Copilot to create a specification document based on all that information. Or you just need to start getting questions answered and so on. But the point is the focused content. So instead of looking everything you have access to in Microsoft 365, this has focused content. It's kind of a mini agent in that sense, is that so you could be utilizing this content, and it's just answering based on that. But unlike the agent, you can edit the content, you can add content all the time. And so you can also put your own instructions in the notebook. So I don't know if you are familiar with Copilot custom instructions, hopefully you are, but Copilot notebooks also have instructions. So you may want to have a specific tone or something you want to specify for the notebook when you are using that. So when Copilot is replying, it's going to be using that whatever has been put to the instructions. And you can share these notebooks with colleagues. So, hey, when I'm sharing that, so I'm going to invite Marshall there, so where we both can work on the same content. And there's also the thing that there's a researcher agent already, so you can use the researcher within the notebook, so you can utilize the researcher there, of course, but you can also kind of make it the research information outside of notebook content, or you may want to utilize just the content within the notebook. There are different ways how you want to do it. But overall, these both Copilot pages and notebooks, they are built for AI first, AI native collaboration, and you're going to be utilizing Microsoft 365 Copilot application for that. They are inside the Copilot app, and this is basically the real-time collaboration. And one thing to note about this is that content stays always up to date. It's always in sync. So Copilot pages, whenever you're doing changes, you have that page or added to, let's say, a couple of notebooks, it's going to change there automatically. So you don't have to go and copy paste the information, but instead, hey, we are just changing this once and it's changing everywhere. Perhaps that Copilot page has been copied to Teams. It's going to update there as well. So together, when you are using Copilot pages, and notebooks, you already have a kind of a multi-step AI workflow there. You are working AI natively when you are using all this together. And why these are syncing simultaneously? These are loops. These are loop pages. Copilot pages are loop pages, and notebooks, well, they are not loop workspaces. There's several differences, but there's some similarities there. But point is that Copilot pages are loop pages, and they are called pages there. Then, would you be using the notebook or Microsoft OneNote? Okay, with which one we be talking about Copilot pages and notebooks here? So, okay, isn't the Microsoft OneNote a bit similar in that sense? You can put in links and documents and information. So let's take a look at that before we go to demos. So there are several things, okay? Would I be using Copilot Notebook or Microsoft OneNote? And there's a short table about that. Well, notebooks, I've been already talking about. That's a very agile way to kind of collect information in there. And OneNote does quite a similar thing. It's you can create and organize notes there, and then you can put links there or embed documents and so on. So in the basis, it would be a bit similar. Of course, OneNote, yes, you have Copilot there, but it's not like it's not integrated that deeply to OneNote yet. But it does understand the content, and so you can ask it quite a lot of questions. In notebooks, on the other hand, the AI is more kind of embedded in. It's going to start doing the intelligent suggestions, and you can utilize the custom instructions to say change how the Copilot is working there. And it has things already like audio review, so you can just take the MP3 and listen that when you are taking a walk or driving a car. Okay, what is this all about? I'm being invited to this notebook. OneNote, I think the note-taking canvas, it's very flexible because it's freeform. You can just click anywhere and start typing. You have digital inking and drawing tools which don't exist in notebooks. But I guess when to use is more important. Like I would say Copilot notebooks, it's agile, it's modern, like it's our future work tool there, and it's quick and simple to use. So it's part of the AI native workflow. But when you need to be more organized, so OneNotes are more organized, you can create the sections there and you can put the pages and so on. And especially if you want to start sharing those with the external users who are not part of the organization, OneNote does have a benefit there in that. There's also kind of I'd say the version control. It's getting better with Copilot Pages, but it's still on the first steps. So that's one part when the OneNote is a bit more kind of advanced. OneNote has a long history, so it has its pros and cons from that. One of the pros for OneNote is the offline use. If you are ending up working offline, and then OneNote is definitely something you can work on, but notebooks, Copilot Pages, they still required on the connectivity. And then the licensing part, I guess the biggest thing is here that OneNote is available for most of Microsoft 365 or Office licenses, while the notebooks are requiring the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. Okay, that was 20 minutes of building things up. And so we can start checking out the demo. Let me just zoom in a bit without making it too zoomed in. So here we have the Microsoft 365 Copilot application. It may not look, you may not think about this as an application, but that's Microsoft 365 app. And from there you can find, of course, the Copilot. We are using the Copilot here as usual. We can find the search and the other things. We can create images and use agents. And hey, we have also notebooks here. We can see the notebooks and we can see our chat history. And the apps are here in the bottom when you click on the apps. So this is the basic UI there, but with Copilot, I just want to highlight you a couple of things with Copilot that do remember that you can choose here, okay, do I want just auto mode or do I want the GPT 5.2 in use? So you can select the quick or think deeper responses already. And from the three dots, if you haven't been using Copilot much, from the three dots, you can go to personalization and we have the custom instructions there. So you can just utilize the custom instructions. And of course, you have the memories when you ask something to place into memory. And nowadays, you can also see if you are in Frontier. So the Frontier means it's a public preview. There is the chat history. So Copilot can even utilize your previous chats you have used Copilot with. And now if I do something like, okay, I have a lot of things, but offer strategies to mitigate risks identified in, let me just pick something that's risks based. Okay, clarify financial risks there. Or, let's take that one. Just a kind of one example how you would be using Copilot with Pages. So it's just going to get information using GPT 5.2 here and the work context and getting some information from the risks table. This is clearly for airlines related document. And it's giving us a bit slowly, but it's Tuesday and winter time. So we are getting the result, hopefully soon. But this is what you do with Copilot. Hey, I have some response here, and finally, when I have the result here, when it's finalized, then you would be copying and putting it somewhere. That would be the old way. Or you're just doing something, and then when you start a new chat, you realize, okay, I have to go to chat history to continue and to discover where my result was. But the Copilot Pages are something that's going to help here. I was using a too long prompt. Okay, now it's coming to the end. Just say the word, and my word is here. So Pages options. So if I click this small pen here, I can edit the result in Pages, or if I have an existing page I want this to add to, I can just click on that. So I'm just going to click edit in Pages so you can see, hey, here's my result. I can remove that, and it's going to get automatically titled by the whatever I was asking. And I have my result here. I can edit anything I like. So let's remove those. Or perhaps I just need to add something. And since this is a loop, so we can just use the slash and start adding, hey, we may want to have a call out, important, or something here. Or we may want to add some code or mermaid diagram, math, tables. So we have quite a lot of options here what we can do. We can ask use these templates to add a Q&A session, voting table. So voting table, it's just a table and where you can vote because of the data type and so on. So this is the basic. Okay, hey, I'm using loop page here. And so I have the loop page capabilities, adding images and so on. No linking, but I can just do this editing and I can continue this later. And I can also invite other team members if I want to. I just add mention, let's say, Mikael, and then Mikael would be, where if I click this plus, Mikael gets the invitation, come and edit this document with me. And whatever he is doing would be real time. I would be seeing real time what's happening. So this syncing is really efficient here. And from the page, we can also see more things, like I could just create a Word document out of the page or presentation or PDFs. And yes, I can share this. I can share the page link, so somebody clicks that and or ends up in the editor, or I can copy this component. What this means is this is now a loop component, and if I go to Teams or Outlook somewhere where this is used, let me just have a discussion with William, and I copy paste that component here to the chat. And what happens? I could just, William could be editing this. All I need to do is now send, and William could be editing this as he likes, and I would be seeing these changes. And I can do even editing without sending it. So let's put there another call out. Okay, nothing happened. Interesting. So let's just try again with the call out here. And if I come back to the page, we already see it here. So that's the power of the loop, which is backing Copilot page. So that's those are some things that are really efficient and usable. Okay, and here we have also I could do the version history, but that's a separate kind of example. I could be continuing there doing a lot of things, but I want to kind of do something more. Why I need to create the page there when I could just ask Copilot to create a page? Why organization must start working in the AI native way? And let's hope it works this time. Let's see. And it's not always. It's still a bit preview. Let's say that. But now it's doing the page already. So instead of me clicking edit the page, I can ask Copilot to, hey, create a page for me. And so, okay, I have a page and it's still writing that, hey, let's Copilot do the writing. And so interesting how okay, now it kind of fixed the output too in there. So what are from the first? Well, what about if we want to add something? I, by the way, did write a couple of blogs this way. So I kind of drafted, I had a long prompt about, of course, what I wanted to be in the blog and provided all the information, and I let Copilot to create the first draft. Then I started to ask it, okay, let's add something there or edit something. Let's add a chapter, what are frontier firms with real life examples. I did bring in the frontier firms to this without making it a separate system. So So what are frontier firms? And it's telling about the human AI collaboration is the default. Don't just use AI occasionally, take or create. I can edit anything I like. So that's of course one thing. I can just do these things here if I want to. And so let's just make this a quote and so on. I can do anything, edit anything I want. And so I can ask it to do those things, or I can go ahead and perhaps I wanted to ask it to rewrite this page totally, change the tone, do something about that. Or on the bottom right, you can see the Copilot shortcuts. You have prompts here, adjust content, like let's make it friendly or assertivity or style page. Hey, let's add emojis. That's quick. And it's just going to do the edit, and we will be seeing, hey, Copilot is rewriting the page, and it's also thinking it should be preserving what kind of our changes there more or less, or then it's going to think about, okay, let's write this in a better way there. So you can ask Copilot to edit the page. And so we have a nice page there, and I could just create the documentation, or I can go to 3 dots and add it to Notebook. So I already have Copilot and Agents, but I could be creating a new notebook if I don't have it. Let's add it to Copilot and Agents, and we have that there. So let's take a look about our Copilot and Agents notebook. Notice that there's a new UI version coming up. But what's fun is that very often you end up in the old, this one that's showing up, the UI, where you have the pages here and so on. This new UI is coming to generally available, I think it was next month or basically February, March, unless it gets delayed. But I want the new UI, and I'm in a frontier in the public preview, so I'm going to see that when I just hit refresh and it reloads, and we have a new UI and new features available here. So what we have here? So we have automatic overview about our whatever we have here. And since I added a new page there, it's in the references, by the way, it's going to refresh and put in the AI native things, the recent page notes here, whatever is needed. We can see here we have some content, okay, time savings and guide and so on, and some page because we can create new pages if we want to, new page with content and so on. Let's just put a new page there instead, so it will update that one. And this was supposed to be header, so let's just change it. So we can write new content, and we have our created content, but we also have the references and suggested references. Copilot is suggesting that, hey, would you add these to this notebook? It would make sense. But if I just click this open, we can see we have references why organizations must become AI native. So this may look like the shift has already started. This is the page we just created. And we have some other links there. I want to add more, add references, and I can start discovering content from my work or just upload documents there. And so I can add, for example, even the SharePoint site if there's something that's relevant. So I can collect the information using this. We are adding references or we are creating content. Now we can also do things like Copilot instructions. Answer always in ticket format. And okay, all right. We hit the glitch. No, it's saved. So describe common themes in my notebook. So if everything goes well, we might get a poetic answer. And that's I could have used put in the pirate language. So but let's see if it's already following that. It doesn't look like that. Not yet. So let's try again. What are 3 main themes in this notebook? So I'm asking it to just answer based on the notebook. So it's not going to look everything I have available in Microsoft 365, but hey, from this. Okay, perhaps it's not what I want to follow the custom instructions today, or but that's basically how where you would be seeing that. I also have a different chat history here, but before going there, I can add content just like with Copilot, and I can use the researcher agent, and then I can select for the researcher what kind of resources it's going to be utilizing when it's responding. So I can ask questions from here, like how many hours I can save with Copilot and agents if I am CEO. Save a week. So let's ask it a question there. So based on the interactive model for I would be saving that much information, and we can check the sources. So we are using the loop pages that we have here in this notebook. So this is a great way to kind of research on or work with your content, whatever you have collected to the notebook. I can also create things like audio review. So I mentioned that any additional customization or I could just use, but let's give it a couple of minutes. It will create that. So, and it's looking for references, combining the information. While it's doing that, we can also see that we have things we had in Copilot page already here. We have the version history. We can create a document out of this. We can share the page or share this page as a loop component, add it to another notebook, rename it. And we have more space even if we want to use it, so we can go to Copilot chat from the right in there. And also, I could recreate the study guide if I want to. So, for example, so it will collect the information from your notebook here. So let's take a quick look if we have time for the audio review. The video review is, by the way, coming. That's cool. It's going to use this content there. But you can also, when you start to create things, this is a researcher output, so it can create quite a good-looking content. And let's see if we have. There's the another researcher output. Perhaps it was on my other page there on the references. So I had actually a couple of things. One was, I'm not seeing the preview, but this was created with Copilot pages. And so let's see, it's here. So this was actually an application. You can create applications with Copilot pages if you instruct it to create. So it created an interactive application, but it's just not previewing within the notebooks. It sometimes does it, but it worked once that it did it. It's a preview at the moment, this new UI. But then we have a kind of another preview that actually works, is that when you ask it to create an infographic out of the researcher result, you get something that looks really nice here. So you can utilize these and copy and even go ahead with that. But here we can take a short look about the audio review. And I'm not going to play it at all. It's not showing the time, but it's going to take several minutes. in there. And so what you can do here, for example, I could be writing a blog post out of this, out of the notebooks. You can find all your notebooks in the left navigation. And so when okay, it was supposed to click all the notebooks there. Let's try again. There I have my recommended it's going to recommend some notebooks, but also list my own notebooks or going for favorites, and so you have quick access. So this is the way you can manage these notebooks. All right. Since I don't have too many minutes left, I'm going to go for the governance part, like just a bit of admin stuff. So Copilot Pages and Notebooks are built on Microsoft 365 security and Microsoft 365. So these are going to be, these are fully following the security, compliance, and privacy foundations what you have. These are stored in SharePoint embedded. So they are in SharePoint, but that's not a place where a human can navigate to. This embedded storage is only accessible by applications. So your Copilot Pages and Copilot Notebooks are in your personal storage there. Just consider it like a kind of a OneDrive, and it actually follows the OneDrive semantics when you think about when we are deleting and restoring the user account and so on. But on other aspects, it's following basically the Microsoft 365 sharing model and everything there. So it's managed with PowerShell and with the SharePoint Admin Center. That's where you can manage the containers where the information is. So you have already quite a lot of admin capabilities there, but there are some things that are still missing. But the team is working on those. And then there's going to be cool stuff coming out with this, and hopefully in the near future as well. But when you're sharing notebooks, well, I didn't show the sharing, but it was the person there, and you just invite somebody, type the name inside your organization, and then they get an email, hey, join this notebook. But and it's going to share the notebook, but it's not going to share your prompts or prompt history, and the audio summaries are also something that's are not shared. So just thinking about the storage there. So you have your basically your user-owned container. That's where they are, these pages and notebooks. And the name depends, the container name basically changes a bit where it's first created. If you are using Copilot, then it's going to be Pages. But if you do go to the My Workspaces first in Move application, it's going to be called My Workspace. But that's where you can find your personal loop pages, so anything you have on your My Workspace, but also all the Copilot pages you create and Copilot notebooks. And you can control Copilot pages and notebooks using the cloud policies. So default state is not configured, which basically means that they are enabled, or it means that they are enabled in there. So what's going to be next? For Copilot pages and notebooks, the video overviews should be coming. They didn't make it yet to this one, but I had already in some notebooks, I had web links added as references, but the notebooks don't understand them yet, but in February, they should start understanding them. And what's going to be very cool with the Copilot chat when you have a page open, remember Copilot page I showed in the beginning, that you can ask questions from the page and it will already understand that automatically and just utilize the page when giving the answer. These new UI features you saw, the suggested notebooks, audio summaries, everything like that, the summary page, they will be coming out for everybody during the February, March. And when the user is departing from the organization, there's going to be help for admins that are going to help with those workflows. And there's going to be more resources. Just check out anything on the Microsoft support and Microsoft Learn about, hey, loop, governance and admin. And of course, the good Copilot notebooks and pages, you will find a lot of information. So start working in AI natively today, bring the future of collaboration to your everyday work. You can get started very easy with Copilot Pages and notebooks, and of course Copilot Agents. You have to understand a bit about what's possible now and what's the limits, because it will help, especially with notebooks in there. But always start your work with Copilot and get the results to Pages. Even if you feel about, okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to use that, you can find them from a Copilot application. There's in the top left, there's a library. That's where you can find all your pages you have created. But you can then start to organize information in notebooks. And create your first notebook and just start to use it and share the joy. So I'm already on time. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'm going to check if there were any questions, but at least I don't see anything in comments. So perhaps it was crystal clear for everyone.
Really, really impressive. I really like this app example, what you have shown. It looks really, really amazing. One question, but it's not direct related to this topic. Do you think Copilot Pages will replace OneNote?
Well, yeah. At the moment, I don't think they will replace OneNote. As like I tried to explain, there are many differences with between these applications and a bit different usage itself. But of course, we don't know what the future will bring in. But I think there are strengths in OneNote, like the offline usage and sharing with externals it's like much more controlled there. So I think those are two things that are gapping there. And perhaps like a long-term thinking, I think Copilot Pages and notebooks, they might need a bit more version control there if you think about utilizing them overall in a very long time life cycle. But will they replace it? It's I try to use Copilot Pages and Loop workspaces and so on a lot. So it's only a random when I'm using OneNote. So in my personal answer would be, hey, it would be great if they'd replace that. But I'd guess there's a huge amount of users for OneNote, and that change would be too much for that to happen like in the for a very, very long time. So my guess is that it's not going to happen. But instead, what they will do is probably integration between these two. If you are using OneNote desktop application now, you can already find Copilot notebooks there. So, and you can utilize them. So I think the integration is going to be at least the first step. And you can paste these loop components, so Copilot Pages, if you want, copy them as a component. You can paste them to OneNote Pages as well. So there's a lot of integration happening. So I would not try to deliberately put them like face to face, which one is going to win, but instead think about the pros and cons each of them has, what's the requirement, think about, okay, this is where I will be using them. I understand it's a bit confusing when you have two kind of note-taking apps there with a bit of similar purpose, but I think it's just going to be the matter of and kind of understanding which one is best for which occasion, and it's adoption and change management. To understand which tools is for which purpose and where and when you would be using. I absolutely love about the Copilot Pages because I materialize my Copilot results, and then I can take them to I will edit them and then copy them wherever I need them. So I think that's a very, very big thing. And about the application, if I had a bit more time, I would have shown you the shown how to create an interactive application in Copilot Pages, but ask it to create an application. And just
this could be something for the next year.
Yeah, just make sure that you are doing that as on the web. You have to change it from web to web, and it usually works better. And it should work on auto, but just choose the 5.2 quick chat, and it will usually do it every time with that. So I noticed that there's sometimes it's not always creating the page on the first try, so you may have to play around with the prompt, but especially when you're creating an application. But it's a really cool. It's a very quick way to kind of have a concept of UI, and you can use that editing there. So you can just ask, hey, I'm missing a feature from there, and you ask Copilot to add it, and it will put that to the page. So yeah, I would have needed a bit more time.
No problem.
But this is a fun topic. I tend to talk along.
Yeah, it's an amazing topic. I really like that. But we have only 10 minutes left, and the next speakers are Knut Relbe-Moe and Martin Röbekamp, and the topic is knowledge agent and SharePoint are soon going to be in GA. What does that mean for your organization? I thank you, Besa. It was a really, really nice session, and we see us again. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Microsoft ecosystem is evolving faster than ever. Copilot, Power Platform, security, modern work, Azure AI, new features every week, new opportunities every day. But learning is scattered. Events are expensive, limited, and difficult to access. That changes now. Welcome to M365 Con, the world's largest online Microsoft 365 convention. 2 powerful weeks, 1 week of workshops, 1 week of free global talks and keynotes. Build your own learning path with expert-led workshops. From Power Platform to security, from Copilot to Azure AI, you choose what matters to you. Then join over 60 free sessions with most valuable professionals, Microsoft trainers, architects, and innovators from around the world. Meet the community, explore the virtual expo, connect with experts, and be part of a global Microsoft experience. Accessible, global, interactive, and designed for every Microsoft 365 professional. M365 Con, your community, your learning path, your Microsoft 365 future.